my buddy Dash for this episode of Double Take. Dave, I just said joined by Dash, but we're joined by Dash
Talking
and
in
Dave.
the third person. That's
The way
weird.
The way you feel.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode or show or shenanigans or whatever you want to call it of the Saturday Night Call-In Show. With me, I have Sick Dave.
Sick Dave. I am very sick. I'm hoping y'all jump in on this one tonight. It is the Call-In Show. I don't know how long I'm gonna last. I just took more medication. I'm just trying to keep alive at this point. So I'm hanging in there. I feel like crap at Dash. How are you?
I am good. I'm just waiting for a little bit until like the NyQuil kicks in, and then you just be all over the damn place.
Yeah, I did take Dayquil. I took the Dayquil. So
Dayquil.
I mean, I'm not going to be that ridiculous, but we'll see.
I think the real question that I want answered by today is Misak sleeping on his keyboard, or is he actually awake?
I don't know. I think he might be awake for a little bit, but he says passes out by about midnight. So
yeah.
We'll see. People's in here. People's already spammed our chat. He's already going after it. Yes, we're going to talk about the Milan game. David Elatok is here as well as Jeff. So this Friday or Saturday night. Friday night. What day am I on?
Saturday, Dave. Saturday. And we are not even a minute in, and he's pretty much gone. Colin is wishing you to get better.
Thanks, Colin.
Yeah, because I think I don't want to talk about Fascinato Gonzalez without Misak, because he is Misak's boy. Misak was like absolutely going bonkers that we got him, because it is more than likely confirmed. We are expected to pay $3 to $4 million for him, and he is doing his medical on Tuesday. So it was funny on our WhatsApp chat. Lucas typed in Fascinato Molina instead of Gonzalez.
Yeah, I was wondering what was going on there.
And I was reading it, and I was like, there is no freaking way we're paying $90 million for Molina. And
is that how much he's worth now?
Yeah, that's his release clause.
Jesus.
I'm serious. Atletico's like, well, that's how Spain works. Spain just has like obnoxious release clauses for players. Yeah. So I like, because the thing is, like, I was dealing with the outages the past couple of days, and I saw that in the chat, and I'm like looking at it. I'm like, because like I saw it, I was at work, I looked at it, I'm like, Molina? Where the hell did we just decide to sign Molina out of nowhere? I mean, cool. Did I expect it? No. Am I going to run with it? Absolutely. And then, good old Google search, and it was Fascinato Gonzalez. And then I read her Discord, because like nobody in our Discord commented on it until like a few hours later. So I was like sitting there, I'm like, how the hell does Lucas know that we're signing Molina? I couldn't find anything on Twitter.
The end. Yeah.
Like it took a minute for me to put two together and be like, nope. He butchered it just like he butchers cross-stitch's name.
Oh man, that's funny. I was at work too when that was happening, and I was just like, I don't understand. Put it away. And I just moved on with life and forgot about it until you just brought it up now. So yeah, there you go.
But we are, though, one day or a couple days removed from the Milan game. Were you able to see a part of it?
I rewatched it. I took a sick day on Thursday. I started getting sick Wednesday night. That's how long this has been going. So Thursday morning, I watched it. In a couple of halves. I kind of broke it up. I didn't watch it like purely as you would have, but I did eventually get it all in. And yeah, I was a little excited. There's a few things I liked.
You want to go over it?
I think we will. Do we want to wait for everyone else? I think that's the big talking point.
I think that is the big talking point.
Let's make that the community one. So yeah, I'll save it for now.
Okay. All right. Then do you want to talk about how we were not in Europe, but technically we've officially been not in Europe?
Yes. So we got to knock that one off. So we're officially not in Europe. I don't know if any of us are surprised. I'm not surprised. This is just like the check. It's a little like, it makes you wonder, have questions. The fact that the same week UEFA forgave Osusana. Osasuna. Sorry. I always butcher that one. From Spain. Apparently, they're forgiven for their misgivings. They're in the Conference League. We are out. Fiorentina takes our spot. So, again, I'm not surprised.
Oh, we lost 15 million potential prize money for going all the way.
Potentially. Now, I saw a tweet today that said the last time we weren't in Europe, we won the Scudetto. So there's that.
Don't be giving people hope.
You gotta have hope. Yeah, every new season's going in with hope. That's
Oh God,
the thing.
I just opened it up with like Ale. Just don't give the guys hope.
No. There's lots of hope going into the new season.
I've been removed from the broadcasting for because we haven't filmed in about a week.
It's been a week. We've been doing it once a week.
I've been a
Well,
little bit rusty here.
Yeah, we've both been busy with work. There's been one news piece, like confirmed news piece a week.
Yeah, because like even Bepe's not streaming that much. I think he did like Tuesday,
and he was on holidays as well. So
yeah, that's right. He was in Rome. I wonder how that went for him.
He did some content. I think it went all right. So that being said, the only confirmed 100% thing this week is the no Europe. So yeah, we lose some money. I would argue as well, it stops us from buying more players, knowing that we have to play multiple games a week. I think Frank Kessie was one of those names that we need to really consider, but let's see if we're playing in Europe or not. So I don't think we spend money on players like that. Perhaps. I could be wrong, but we won't be spending as much money, I don't believe.
Well, if you're far ahead and you read Gazeta, apparently Chiesa or Vlahovic has to get sold now. I saw that article this morning and I cried laughing. He's like, guys, I don't want to lose Dusan. I'm like, dude, it's Gazeta. Chill.
Yeah, and Marian says here, hi guys, we're going to have a well-rested team for each game. That's why I believe in the Scudetto. And that's a good point. And it gives you some consistency that those same players that you rely on can play week in, week out, get the consistency and not be tired because it's only once a week. So I think that's really beneficial, especially if we can thin out this bench a little bit more. Pellegrini might be out. Effectively, Bonucci's not playing. Even if we're still paying him, I don't know if he's ever going to play.
He's been frozen out 100%. They said it. He's frozen out when ESPN said Bonucci's been kicked off the squad. That's literally what they said.
Yeah. So a few more movements. Zakaria still maybe.
Monaco did bid for him or did open up communications for a bid. Juve and West Ham just apparently can't find the deal there. So that's why his move to West Ham has not been completed. So Monaco is in the mix. I believe Leverkusen is also looking at him as well, but that's just, asking for info.
Yeah, there's a few looks at him. So nothing like solid right now. West Ham was the biggest one. And was it Monaco? It was a French team anyways.
Yeah, it was Monaco that's really looking for him.
So
and then
maybe there's still a couple weeks left here, right? So things still happen.
And then, to be honest with you, in regards to the Frank Kessie thing, I think he kind of saved us because he rejected Juve, essentially saying he wants a move to the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
So, because that was before we knew if we were in the Conference League or not, and part of me was kind of like, I don't know if he fits, if he doesn't. I'm not too crazy or up on his stock for him coming, but originally the deal was about 10 to 15 million for an option to buy. And I believe Juve and Barcelona agreed on the deal. Just Kessie was just like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, it still just doesn't make sense at this point, especially no Europe. Why? I just don't see it. Like, you don't have to loan out Moretti, for instance. You don't have to go and buy Kessie. Even if you like that profile, you still have your own homegrown guys that, I don't know, just be creative. You're allowed to mix it up a little bit, right? I know Moretti still has a lot of muscle to put on. He's certainly not A big old Frank Kessie.
He's not a big old Frank Kessie, but he bodied some dudes, on Thursday. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, so maybe he did hit the gym. He still looks very thin.
He looks tiny, but I'm just saying, he threw some Milan midfielders. He threw some of their starters around for some really good passes. I was a little bit surprised when I saw that, but again, we're gonna hold off on the Milan game.
I was surprised as well. Milan doesn't look very healthy. They had a couple guys benched, Kyer, and there's another one.
Yeah, but they lost Calabria and
Calabria.
Fiacco Tamori as well.
And Florenzi came in for Calabria, but also got taken off early. He looked not great.
You know, the one player though that I will give props that looked pretty dangerous for Milan was Pulisic.
Yeah, he's obviously got something to prove. It's in America. I can see him actually caring about this game.
He sauced, but again, we'll wait for folks to come in. But I think Pulisic was probably the Milan player that kind of caught my attention. As Jeff is saying, what is your opinion of the Conference League? I don't really care. It's less games, less potential for injuries because J Medical just seems to love piling up because Ravella is injured before even playing a game. Dusan is injured before even playing a game. Pogba is now not even potentially ready for the first game of the season, which honestly, I don't know how that's the case. That to me is a little bit baffling, but
it's crazy.
Fagioli is still technically rehabbing the broken collarbone, so I don't know when Fagioli comes back. Did
you mention Ravella?
Yeah, Ravella and Fagioli.
Yeah, 10 to 15 days. Yeah, just so many names.
Yeah,
it's insane.
So that's my thing. It's kind of frustrating. For example, especially for me, with Ravella and Dusan, where it's you guys haven't even played a game yet. How? Are you guys that out of shape?
It seems crazy.
At this point, what? I understand taking Pogba to the United States because marketing, money, commercials, and shit like that. But at this point, I would just take. Why'd you take Dusan if you're not going to use him?
Probably for marketing.
Is he that marketable in the U.S.? Nobody knows who the hell he is.
He's a big enough name, I think.
I don't think so.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because, for example, if you look at Juve did some collaborations with CBS Sports with Christine Cupo, I think her name is. The entire time they had Milik, they had Chiesa, they had Szczesny. They had who's the fourth? Because it was Chiesa and Milik versus Szczesny, and another one that was an English speaker. That it was four of them, and they were doing videos with those guys, and it's I understand you have Szczesny, he can speak English, Milik can speak English, same thing with Chiesa, but at the same time, it's you sent players home that were injured. So, for example, they shipped Ravella back because he was injured. Why not ship Dusan to go back and start recovery? Because we need him. We need him to be fit once the season starts.
I think they're trying to make it look like that he's not injured because he's on the market.
Well, it's not working because nobody's buying him.
So there was a rumor, stupid rumor that I don't believe, but a rumor nonetheless, that said, wait, this coming week, there could still be movement on Vlahovic. So, yeah, we're still going to wait.
The only club that'll buy him is PSG.
They might. Mbappe is, I don't know where he's going to go. I think he wants Real Madrid.
He does. No, he 100% wants Real. It's just PSG doesn't want him to go there.
He's not going to Saudi Arabia. He just got, it was 335 million offer. Was it something like that?
It was for PSG. It was 300 million, but for Mbappe, it was 779 million a season.
Oh, yeah, it's just stupid. That's a stupid amount of money. It really is. And the fact that he's I
can't believe he turned it down.
That's a stupid amount of money. Oh my. It's insane. So I
don't, if you were Mbappe, would you take that? You take one season in Saudi and then you go and play at Real Madrid as a free agent.
Yeah. I think you have to at that.
Why would he not take that?
Unless he thinks he transcends that that decision, that he doesn't want his his legacy to be ruined by that move, which it may not. 1 year, he's in his prime. He's going to be in his prime for a few more years, anyways. I would say. I don't know, 700 million. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know. That to me is like I can't believe you turned that. It's like I saw NBA players like LeBron James and Damian Lillard. They're just like, "Yo, I'm about to put up some cleats and head to Saudi." I mean, right now you could go to if you're like decently athletic, you could try out for the Saudi fourth division and get $4,000 and a house and car paid for.
Bones is in the house. What is up?
And then speaking of Mbappe, so it looks like Liverpool has opened talks with PSG for Mbappe.
Can Liverpool afford him?
No,
This is
a
comical.
1 year. It's a 1 year loan deal.
1 year loan deal for how much? 100 million? No.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm just throwing out stupid numbers now because we're the Saudis are.
I was gonna say you got to say Saudis because KF Squad will be like, no, no, Dave, it's not that. You need to get your Specsavers on.
He said he was coming tonight. He better show up.
Oh, he
Don't do
better.
it.
Oh, he better. Oh, I'd love it if Hamza got in here.
Somebody's got to. I might bow out once you guys start rolling in. I might just like go behind the scenes and like
Taking
just go be sick behind the camera.
So I've got a couple of not breaking, but recent news. So obviously, big one is Hulyund to United for 85 million, which is ridiculous.
Big money.
There's a lot of money for a guy that hasn't proved as much, but leave it to Manchester United for doing boneheaded plays like that.
We did that for Vlahovic, technically.
Dave, don't remind me, man.
Hey.
And the other thing too, so Rav tweeted this from Mathis Pog, says the idea of another capital increase to Juventus is coming.
Yes.
So that means Big Daddy Elkin is about to open up the checkbook, something that he does not do for Ferrari, if you have not seen their latest couple of races.
They have a cost cap now, though, so, I mean, they have their money.
He should, I'm saying, invest in better strategy, because I still can't believe he held, like, I don't understand what happened to Leclerc that last race, where he was trying to push, and they're like, no, we have a strategy. Stay there.
You talking about Hungary?
Yeah.
Okay, because, I mean, there was a sprint race today in Belgium. Spa's like the most famous track, so you got to keep up with things. It's we're at Spa.
I'm learning. Okay, leave me alone. I just got into it. And then Marian says, "Don't remind us about Ferrari." I'm sorry.
They did okay today. I mean, they did all right. We'll see. Leclerc's on pole tomorrow.
Isn't Verstappen polling 5th because of a penalty?
Well, 6th, yeah. So, I mean, that's why Leclerc has pole, because Verstappen still beat him by 2/10. But yeah, Leclerc gets it for being second best. Verstappen will start in 6th. He's probably going to pass everyone. Leclerc will be, if they don't screw up and they can manage tires, Ferrari has a chance at 2nd. Sainz won't be bad. He might get like a 5th or 6th. Like, they can put good points up tomorrow. But we'll see. We'll see.
You know, do you think they just put Verstappen there just to see like if he could actually catch up and beat everybody for entertainment purposes?
Well, last year he started 14th at Spa and won the race. So
Jesus Christ, what is that kid made out of?
Yeah. So there you go. It's already been done.
Yeah, and then Dave says by lap 7, Verstappen will lead. And then Marian says Verstappen could start a day after and still pull the win.
Yeah.
I've just, like, I'm not a big racing guy, but I've never seen, like, I've heard of Lewis Hamilton's streak, but like, I feel
it wasn't this dominant.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you guys, like, was Hamilton as dominant as Verstappen currently is?
I think at the beginning of the season, you can say Hamilton probably has the edge because he did it for 7 years. Verstappen's basically on his 3rd year now. So doesn't have that longevity, but I think how Verstappen just
He's like 30 seconds ahead every race.
Yeah, he's 30 seconds ahead. He always gets the fastest lap. He pretty much always gets it on pole or second, whatever. And second is just as good. He just kills it. Like he even what was it, Spain? I can't remember now.
Barcelona. Yeah, he was like
yeah,
a
we're
minute ahead.
yeah, he was a minute ahead and he won fastest lap. He wanted to steal it from his teammate. So he was like, yeah, I got time.
He's
to
like,
pit
yes,
stop.
what this time? Bucks.
And he just like that. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna box, put on some sauce, we're gonna get fastest lap, and then he killed it.
Like, I remember watching that at the restaurant, and I was like, I think I texted you. I was like, Dave, what the hell is Verstappen doing? You're just like, he's just here to shit on I forgot his partner's name. He's about to shit on his time.
Yeah.
He's about to shit on Perez's time.
And that's when Aston Martin was still good, when we thought they were the new great thing. And now Alonso's in the wall.
What do you think about you? I'm kind of excited to see the Las Vegas race because they like spent like almost 80 million on this track.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. So they're having troubles, I suppose, by or selling the tickets. They're trying to charge the casinos like $1 million just so they don't block their view. So the track goes by some of these casinos, right? So they're just going to put up walls so the patrons of that casino can't watch the race unless the casino pays $1 million.
That's petty.
Yeah.
Oh, that's petty.
Super petty.
You know, so there's like actually, and we'll get back into the footy talk, but I actually found this out by a friend of mine. So you know why Formula One does not go into Detroit anymore?
Why's that?
Because 20 years ago, some schmuck, while they're doing prep, dropped 2 engines.
They draw. Sorry, say that again.
So when they were unloading some of the cars from the trucks.
Okay, unloading. Sorry, I missed that. Yeah,
unloading.
So they dropped
them. Dropped multiple engines.
Okay.
And Formula One.
So just that one guy.
That one guy ruined Formula One for me, guys.
Okay,
now I just have IndyCar.
It's just it's still pretty popular there. People asking about Hoyson. Why do you like him? The thing that really stuck out to me was just how he has that I don't give a fuck attitude.
He's a fucking beast. That's what he is.
He's
like Hoyson, holy shit, man. Like I was watching him play and I'm like, this dude looks like he's like he acts like he's 25, 26. He trolled the Milan goal. He trolled Sportiello. He's like sitting there and was like chirping at him, and then banked that penalty in the corner and just looked at him. He's like, "Yeah, I scored that on you." I'm like,
just like stone cold. I loved it.
It's like, you know, there's like those transformation pics where you say like he went from I'll have her home at 8:00 to he calls me or she calls me daddy now. It's like Hoyson when he plays. That dude is cold, like cold-blooded. He tried taking a 40-yard shot.
Oh yeah, it was dipping too. It skimmed the back of the net. It wasn't bad.
The thing is just like what surprises me most about Hoyson, or I don't want to say it surprises me, but it impresses me. He's got a bionic leg. Like if you've seen him kick that ball, it is like a rocket.
Oh, just the way it moves.
Yeah, it's just holy smokes.
Yeah, it was exciting to see. Man, these guys are so young and they were playing next gen. Surely, like they wouldn't break into the first team this year, would they? We said that last year with Fajoli.
We said that last year, but I think Hoyson's probably so. What is it? Nicolucci, Hoyson, and Yildiz. Yildiz, our boy Yildiz. Those are probably the 3 that could. I think Hoyson probably has the most opportunity because if we don't buy a center back and then Bonucci's frozen out, you have Walgani, Gatti, Danilo, and Bremer.
We have De Winter.
I believe De Winter's being sent to the Premier League.
It's not
concrete.
Yeah, but we technically we can keep him. It's an option. It's out there. Not saying
so.
I mean, he'll probably get moved out. Yeah, we need more defense now. And the Facundo, did I say that right? The new guy.
Maybe. You're looking at me for pronunciation, dude.
Facundo Gonzalez. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. No, I got it right.
Well, Facundo, he was in the it's like the fourth
Verity or
division.
B. No, it was the second division.
Was it
So
B?
not.
I
Yeah, it
thought it was
was.
hold on. So, oh, Valencia B. That's what it says.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just their B
It says
division.
four. No, they're in the fourth tier. It's
Is
just
that
their B
fourth tier?
tier. Yeah.
Okay, I just assumed.
So, yeah, it
All
says
right.
Segunda Federación Group 3. So he's going to
So
next
that's
gen.
really low. Okay.
He's going to next gen.
Yeah.
But still, the fact that he was worth $3 to $4 million kind of shows that he's got some pretty good potential.
Yeah. And just nobody had heard this name. It was just all of a sudden. It's sort of like Gotti in a sense, right? We only knew about it because the news started building up. But even with him, it seemed like it was a couple weeks. This Facundo guy, it was just like, yeah, hey guys, guess what? This happened.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if he goes. He's definitely going into the next gen. I think
Yeah.
that's honestly what Gintoli's doing. Is Gintoli's looking at like opportunities to pull players from abroad into the next gen, because I don't think he's used to having a next gen, right? So like
Yeah, and
Gintoli,
he can make like a proper 5-year plan so that
yeah,
at the end of his like 5-year tenure, whatever, these guys are coming up through the ranks ready to play in the first team.
yeah, because he's like it makes sense because like for example, he's 20. The next gen's the under 23, so he could easily take him, stick him in the next gen for 2 or 3 years, evaluate him, see if he's good enough or not. If he's not, you move him for a profit, honestly. Because
When
by the
you're a
time
team like Juve and you can spend a few million here and there, I know we don't have tons of money, but this is smart long-term planning where you only spend a few mil, and then in 2 or 3 years, I mean, even if they don't make it to your team, you're maybe getting 15, 20 mil to sell them off.
yeah, I mean that's what you can essentially flip Illing if you wanted to. Moretti as well. You can flip those two for 15 to 20.
Well, they want
You could
25 for Illing.
Yeah, or like for example with Coney de Winter, 10 to 15 as well. So you have the opportunities there. You can if you want to. I'm not saying that we should. No any shapes or means. Like I mean, again, I'm one of those guys that would rather sell Doosan instead of Illing, but that's just me. But
But it's just good business, and
it is. It
it's
is.
low risk. You know, assuming the guy doesn't have a career-ending injury.
Kyle George.
Kyle George. I mean, and that was a pretty low money risk, right? And that was kind of a surprise when we picked him up because that wasn't something we typically do.
You know, I'm kind of curious. If we had the next gen team, do you think it would have helped Moise Keane a lot more than where he is right now?
Oh, probably.
I think he would have been dominant, a lot more dominant.
I hope he stays. I hope he does great. I saw him obviously Milan talking, said would save it, but Milan, I liked how he moved. He still needs to maybe clean it up a little bit, but he's been moving around and I like it.
So the other thing too that I hate to bring up, but Misak and Dave's love child, Lazar Samardzic.
Yeah.
Samardzic. I'm calling him a dick because he chose a move to Inter. He is joining Inter Milan.
We were not linked with him at all, really.
Unfortunately.
Like there was rumors weeks ago, but nah. So here's a fun little piece of news before we move on here. Douglas Costa during a live broadcast on Instagram. Have I seen Quadrado at Inter? Yes. I feel sorry for him. Oh man, speaking of Inter. Bastard. That's funny.
So, do you want to briefly touch the Milan game and then we'll open it up for the Collins? Because there's actually a really good question on Cambiaso that I'm going to throw out here because it looks like it's thrown some questions here about Cambiaso. So it's interesting. It's X now, right? I can't even say it's Twitter anymore. It's called X.
It is officially X. The logo was changed on my phone this morning. It was like, whoa, there's a black icon there now. What's going on? So X, yeah, it's still as trashy as it's always been. It's just X now. Yeah, roll with it.
All right, so 6-5. We won on penalties against Milan because the Americans like penalties. So it was a 2-2 draw, and it went to penalties.
Is that why
all
they do it? Is that an American thing?
It's for this World Soccer Challenge, whatever the hell this is. I don't even know what the hell this is called. All I know is it's a friendly tournament.
Yeah. Okay.
But the thing is like, so the interesting thing that I wanted to comment on it is that all 4 goals were scored off set pieces.
Yeah.
So bad marking on our end essentially gave goals to Giroud and is it Tia? Yeah, it is Tia.
Ah.
Yeah. So essentially what it was like, for example, and this is kind of like a boneheaded play by Moretti, but Moretti played Giroud on sides by a really lazy recovery off a corner.
Yep.
And Giroud just kind of thumps it in. Ta, his wasn't bad. I mean, I think the interesting thing is like I said, I think the standout performer for Milan for me was Pulisic. Like I said this at the beginning of the summer. I said, guys, if he's healthy, 20 million is a steal for him because he is just really dangerous on the wing. Short, small, agile. His health is in question. But again, I think the strain in Serie A is a lot less than it is in the Premier League. And if you guys watch this Dortmund film, dude could cook. He was really good. There's a reason why Chelsea paid 80 million for him from Dortmund. He was really, honestly, my more standout performer. Leao and Hernandez, not really. I could. They were kind of an autopilot in a sense, but that was really one of my more standout performers for that. For Juve, for us, Timothy Weah, hands down.
Oh yeah, he was exciting to watch.
Timothy Weah was insane.
That was your man of the match. Eh? It was Timmy.
Timmy was my man of the match. I'm sorry. Just feel free to disagree with me, folks. I'm going Timmy W. I'm going with
keep
Timmy.
it on loop.
Keep it on loop. Just no, but Timothy Weah, guys, because like the thing is like the dynamism that he has. There was an instance where he dribbled through the entire Milan squad and then literally just laid it off to Keane, who shanks it. But I thought Timmy was awesome, man. Wasn't afraid to go up against Leao. Wasn't afraid to go up against Hernandez. Was honestly keeping Hernandez on his toes. He was one of my standout performers for that one. My main guy. My second person that impressed me, I would say Chiesa, but I expect Chiesa to be a beast.
I was going to say Chiesa. I'm saying Chiesa.
I'm gonna give him because I liked what I saw, and it was Moretti. So there was a couple instances in the middle of the park where he was able to body Loftus-Cheek and Krunic off the ball and able to win the ball and send some passes forward. So Moretti to me physically looks a lot better as far as body control. Because like back then you could stiff arm the poor kid and the kid would go flying 15 feet. But like I like the aggressiveness that he's built in the past couple of months because Loftus-Cheek is a Premier League player. He's aggressive. It's just how their natural MO is. I thought Moretti did well, held off against him. Same thing with Krunic as well. So I want to give Moretti props there. Danilo and Gatti. I loved Gatti and Weah overlapping on the right side.
Yeah.
Like Frankie is probably sitting there like starting the post or starting the thing, and I'll let Colin in here. But Frankie's probably starting the movement saying transition Gatti into a right winger. But Gatti and Weah were doing some really awesome overlapping runs. He had a karate kick that somehow didn't go in, and it landed for Danilo to get the goal. But Bremer did well. Shout out to Rugani, man. Rugani had a good game as well.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to Walgani as well.
Hottest wife on the team.
Yeah. And then the two players on our squad that I was a little bit disappointed in. First one's McKennie. He looked really out of shape. I just really leggy. And the other one, Locatelli as well. I think Locatelli and McKennie just didn't look like they're in any good physical shape whatsoever. I thought they were a little bit out of shape, mostly McKennie, but yeah, it's usually McKennie comes in the summer, comes in fat, and then loses 15 pounds in preseason. But I expected a little bit better from McKennie and Loca, but hey, beggars can't be choosers on that one. Cambiaso. So Cambiaso has opened up a huge discussion on social media. I like some things that I saw. The other thing, like one of the things that I commented when I was talking with us on WhatsApp with our guys, I thought it was a little bit shaky, but that's because again, you're going from Bologna to Juve. It's a big jump. You have more eyes, more pressure on you. So that was one thing, but I'm gonna side with Misak, what he said on the Discord, where he cut in, he did his movements, covered the position where he needed to. Um, I will say this: I think Weah is more mature and more refined than Cambiaso is from my eyes from that game, which is fine. Um, I think people need to understand that like Cambiaso is a step up from Alexandro, but don't expect him to be like
Offensive.
offensive. Yeah, like a heavy offensive left wing back. Like he's really different from
Uh,
Costa.
And if you notice as well, Chiesa was covering the left flank a lot as well. So he was sort of adding the attack on the left, knowing Cambiaso was more defensive. So there was a bit of that interplay going on. Colin,
Yes, sir.
welcome. Sorry, we had to wait for Dash to go on his monologue. But we're done now. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Yourself? Well, outside of being sick.
Well, yeah, other than that, I'm all right. Yeah. How did you feel about the Milan game?
I thought for the first game, especially against a rival, it went relatively well. I agree that McKennie and Loca were not at their best, but I feel like we got to look at Gatti because I disagree. I don't think you can look at Moretti. I think you have to look at Gatti. Those are both goals are on him to get up to the ball and head that. And I don't necessarily blame anyone besides him if we're going to look for an individual. He did look physically in shape. So if you want to take that up on the other two that Dash had mentioned, but as per the goals, 100% for me, Gatti was at fault. Those are both players that he was supposed to be at.
Do you think though Moretti kind of playing it off slowly on that corner kick instead of jumping? Because like if you look at it, it was like Giroud, and then like everybody else was like at least 4 or 5 yards apart, and then like Moretti was still kind of like how Kandreva did it with us against Salernitana, where Kandreva like awkwardly hung there, but it worked for Milan, it didn't work for us there, but. Because that was when I was looking at the replay, because I was a little bit confused. I'm like, that's hella offside. And then it's like Moretti was still like right at the touchline. And I'm like,
I think collectively, and you can blame it maybe on Gatti because it was his man, but the defense just seemed like they weren't paying attention as a whole. And they all immediately, even Moretti put up his hand calling for offside. So they were playing the offside, not playing the man or the ball. So their heads just weren't really into it, the whole team. And that went both ways. That's why all 4 goals were off set plays, because defensively, the teams just weren't there. They weren't organized.
I do agree though with Gatti and Tia there, because like I was a little bit surprised. I'm like, holy smokes, that was a free header at Chesney.
Yeah.
Like that was just
Yeah.
like, and it wasn't even a
challenged.
corner. It was just a free kick. But yeah, that one threw me off a little bit. And Frankie's saying, as much as I love Gatti, you should have won that header. Should have punched him in the face like he normally does. No. But like I kind of said though, as far as like the youngsters that came in or the substitutes of the next gen, I think you and I mentioned it. I think Yildiz needed to do a little bit more. I didn't see too much from him that game.
I didn't even remember he played.
Yeah, he wasn't really that active, but Nicolucci and Hoyson, especially Hoyson.
Yeah.
Hoyson played like another Gatti almost. He was super aggressive physically. I felt like he was imposing. But this may seem like a bit of an oxymoron. He did all of that while still being composed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Or mature, if you want to go there. So yeah, I thought he was dope.
Ooh, Tala's here.
Hey, how's it going?
You wanna hop on this Hoyson Express here?
The Hoyson Express. I want to talk about us being Timmy Weah FC right now. Because holy, he really impressed me in that match against Milan. Also, I thought it was hilarious that Tomori tried to jump over Keane and then just realized that was a really bad idea.
Yeah, it was cagey at times, that game. And the refs, that's one of the good things, I guess, with having American refs is that they'll let a bit of that stuff go.
Well, I was saying in the Empire State group chat that it was like the least friendly in the history of friendly.
I was just about to say that. I was like, I was watching it. I'm sitting here. I'm like, am I watching week 9 of Serie A this season, or am I watching a friendly cup? Because like some of, like for example, Locatelli was just going straight in for tackles. I was like, dude, whoa. Or like for example, did you see some of Timmy Weah's tackles on Leao? Like he did not give a shit.
If you're trying to sell the game in North America, you have to allow that kind of play. The biggest negative that if you're talking with your non-soccer fan friends, the biggest negative that most of them draw is the fact that guys are diving around and falling around like pussies.
So I was explaining this to my cousin who I was watching the game with, and a lot of Americans don't realize this about the rules, that a lot of the times it only counts as a foul if you actually go down. So like if you eat a foul that is straight studs up to your leg, like it's on the ref to decide to call that back in a lot of occasions if you're in a situation where it's like, something happens like that. But and I think that maybe that aspect of the rules needs to change, where like you don't have to go down for it to be a foul, because in reality, a lot of the time these guys are diving because it's the only way something's going to count.
Yeah. Jeff, welcome in. How's it going?
Pretty good.
I think they need to start calling simulation. We're on TV. Most of us can say that we're like, yo, that's a dive before we get to VAR. Yes, VAR sometimes illustrates it a little better, but for the most part, the guy that's supposed to be running with the play, get the fuck out of here. He doesn't see some of this shit. That's crazy.
I think a lot of the refereeing is abysmal in general. I mean, I think I was listening to it. I think it was Sam Adamo on the Bordello podcast, and he was saying that like the guys that become referees are like just absolute nerds.
yeah, that.
And they're the guys that'll like make a fake fan account and like trash players and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah.
Because he was getting mad. He was getting mad that they called the game due to lightning because the guy was like so by the book, and that's what refs are, people that just love to follow the rules.
Yeah, no, I'm with that. Just don't be a nerd about it.
But that's the whole point. Is that he's trying to say is that they are nerds. To be a ref, you have to be a nerd. So you're always going to be a nerd about it.
We need that Colina-esque referee though.
Yo, we need
back in the day.
Bring back Colina, who used to just like players feared that guy.
That guy was a straight G. I don't know. Like I loved his energy, his presence.
Okay.
He didn't take crap from anybody.
I agree with everything you're saying, but isn't he not one of the guys running all of referees in FIFA?
Yeah.
He's the king of the pile of shit.
But I feel like he's got like they gave him like an honorary title so he'd shut up kind of thing, and they're like, we're gonna give you a salary, and it's basically like a FIFA payoff almost, because I feel like if Colina had his way, it would be like, you're fired. Half the Serie A refs are fired. You know what I mean?
He didn't have a say in the World Cup a lot, though. A lot of like the rules in the World Cup, because he was putting a lot of extra time, especially with the extra times, like the stoppage times. They were like 7 minutes, 8 minutes.
Colina did the extra time stuff. Like he said, he wanted to figure out how to get like actual like 90 minutes instead of like the actual 60 minutes. And then the other thing that he wanted to do was he wanted to have referees be held accountable for VAR. So, like, for example, whatever they call on VAR, they'd have to announce it to the stadium. So that was two things that Colina did. But, like, it's like you guys were saying, if Colina actually, like, wasn't in a glorified title, I don't think Messi has a World Cup if Colina was actually dictating rules and refereeing standards.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Yo, I agree. Fuck Messi. He's a fraud. Maradona.
Okay, whatever you say, Zlatan.
Zlatan,
yes.
Colina is the head of UEFA referees. That title doesn't sound too.
Head of UEFA anything sounds like you took a payoff, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, that's a given.
He took a payoff to be Sheffrin's right nutsack.
Ugh.
Oh man.
He's actually just
Oh,
the
God.
sack.
Yeah.
His head looks like a sack. Let's just be honest, but
It's like, because like, what is UEFA anymore? It's just like the Sheffrin show, because nothing else outside of Sheffrin happens in UEFA.
You know, I read that one of the things you need in order to have his position is that you need to be ahead of a league for X amount of years.
He never
And
was.
Yeah, he forged that.
So
we're gonna dock Juve another 15 points for that because that can't happen.
oh Lord.
And we'll
Fucking-
bring Osuna back
fucking-
in. We'll forgive Osuna.
bullshit.
Nah, it's just a personal vendetta. You can't really do anything about
At this
it.
point, like it's like one of those things where it's like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? To
Okay.
say that we're, Dave, get the tinfoil hat. To say that like we're like it's a conspiracy against to not that like it is. It's collusion against us. There's no
it's
way
an
it's
open
not.
agenda. It's an open agenda.
It's an open agenda, exactly. It's like not even. It's not even like. It's like it's kind of hard to like even deny it at this point. Like
Selective outrage.
yeah, I mean you're
Yeah.
gonna get mad at us for committing crimes that aren't crimes.
No. So I was playing today, and then I had like one Arsenal fan, one Milanisti, and one Interisti, and they were just like going on the attack. Like they just wanted to like shit on me. Like it was like a 4-on-1.
Was it? You said an Arsenal fan. Do they have fans?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm surprisingly so. Yeah,
They
They're
were Man
still
City
there. Very,
fans
very rare.
that came over. So like Arteta and Gabby Jesus.
Oh,
Or it's-
closet M
or
City fans.
It's just guys named Gabriel.
I think what it is I think like some of them didn't. I think the Arsenal fans were mad about like Juve buying Vlahovic because they were like all in on Vlahovic as well a couple years back.
They were all in on Locatelli too. Like they
Were they? I didn't.
We,
Oh, yeah.
we
Oh,
just
you're right.
sun Arsenal in the market all the time.
Oh, that is true. That is true. No, you're right about that. I do remember that. That is true. But yeah, like Arsenal fans just hate us. I don't know what it is. I don't even
They
care
hate us
about
because
them.
they ain't us.
I agree. 100%.
What's got to be in the player's mind to sit there and be like, I'm moving to Arsenal, or like I'm moving to Tottenham, like any of those two.
I mean, Arsenal's still a better choice than Tottenham. Tottenham's just shit.
Yeah, but like Arsenal's like less shit than Tottenham, but still shit.
No, I disagree with that. I think
They're not better.
I think they're both pretty fucking banter, to be honest.
I mean, the reason why I'm saying it is because, like, for example, outside of like a couple of FA Cups, like, what has Arsenal really gotten to show for anything?
They have it's like Thierry Henry and then that invincible season, and it's like they're I mean Arsenal fans in reality like they're like the Napoli fans of EPL.
The Premier
Like,
League.
we're gonna be hearing about this third Scudetto and that 5-1 victory they had for the next 25 years.
I gotta be honest though, for Napoli fans, like you know what, they can celebrate it because you know if De Laurentiis was supposed to pick up the other two Scudettis, they will probably like turn to dust because that's how old they are.
I mean,
Yeah, man.
personally, I don't have a problem with the team as much as I have a problem with the
The
fans.
fans, yeah, because they were celebrating before they even won the damn thing. Like, I mean, they like before when they drew Milan, they were already celebrating that they were going into the semifinal.
So like, there's a pizzeria in New York that has played matches sometime, and it's where like the Napoli fans of New York kind of meet up. And every time I've gone there for a game, I've just been like harassed over stuff like, you think we're conspiracy theorists? Like they talk about like, oh, the Agnelli family and they did this and they did that and it's all just to fuck over Napoli. It's like, guys, like we live in your head rent free.
It's the same thing with us and Rocco Comiso.
Dude, Napoli fans. I mean, Napoli hasn't won, like has three titles. Like the other teams, they're like behind teams that are in Serie C and Serie D. That's insane. How are you talking about? There are teams who are in the 3rd division and 4th division that have more like titles that they've won from the 30s and the 40s that have more than Napoli.
Genoa,
I don't get it. Genoa
Torino.
too. No, there was a team in Serie C.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Vermicelli.
Yeah,
Vermicelli.
Vermicelli. Yeah, that's insane. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
Colin, you have anything? Because I know you wanted to talk about the Arsenal stuff.
Yeah.
What I was going to say about the Arsenal stuff was just that they were unlucky to have an absolute stellar team during the best Manchester United team ever. It was unfortunate. So I think that they do deserve, and in any other era, that was an unbeatable squad. But because of how fucking well knit United was, it's just bad timing, I think. So I think they do deserve a lot more respect at Tottenham. And as for Napoli, and maybe I have a little bit of a soft heart because my best friend's Napolitano. It's a different market, and before De Laurentiis, it was a completely just different show. So I think because of the wealth gap, because of the traditional North versus South that's in Italy, it makes it harder for us to understand it from over here. And then, I mean, opposition fans are cocksuckers no matter who they are. So, I mean, Inter, Napoli, the same bucket of shit.
Like, the only teams I despise are Milan and Inter. The rest I could care less. Like, they're indifferent. It doesn't even matter to me. Like, they could hate us. I wouldn't care for them. I don't know. That's me.
I love how every year the Fiorentina fans talk about the rivalry that they have with us, and I'm like, what rivalry? We don't even think
You know, it's funny.
we don't think about you guys.
Yeah, we have a video on our YouTube channel that Zach made. He was like, pretty much he titled it Fiorentina. What gives? Because it's like, he's like, it's interesting because it's like he pulled like Juventini and he pulled Fiorentina folks, and it's like all the Juventinos are just kind of like, huh? Like,
Oh, you guys have beef with us?
you have beef with us? Okay, cool.
Hey,
If
well,
you
you know
don't
what
mind
you know what reminded me of that though? Like the one episode in Dragon Ball where Vegeta's fighting one of the Frieza soldiers, where he thought one of the soldiers thought it was his rival, and like Vegeta was just laughing the fuck off. Like that's what it literally reminds me of.
Ooh,
That's
I
exactly
know.
what it's like.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
I
Colin.
have a question. How old are you three?
I'm
32.
in my 30s.
I'm 30.
Early or late?
I'm just 30. That's it.
So, okay, maybe because I'm the oldest. I mean, I remember Fiorentina beefs. So like I mean, so I live in Ottawa. We have the Senators haven't been to the fucking playoffs, and I can't tell you how long. I'm also a Redskins fan. I don't need to tell you about the Redskins.
Yeah, you got a new owner. You got a new owner.
Yeah, I still fucking hate the Leafs, and I will always hate the fucking Leafs, and I still hate everybody in the East. Even my business partner's a Philly fan. I won't go anywhere near him during a game. I'll kick him. So I think like I'm 39. I'm gonna be 40 in a few months. I think if someone like me in Canada remembers that, definitely some fucking purple-blooded guys over there are gonna never forget too.
I get it because like so Zach, if you guys haven't seen the video, it's on our channel, but take a peek. So like I understand like the older fans, I could understand the beef there because it's like I remember it was a cup final, European Cup final, Juve versus Fiorentina, and we thumped them. And our striker at the time was just like, and this is why you guys are Fiorentina. Like he verbally said it.
What year was that?
It's like in the 80s.
I
Like
think so.
89.
I did see a YouTube video. That's why.
It was like in 89, 88, 89 when it happened. And then after that, Baggio happened. And then everybody else raged. But
I get the like sniping their biggest players kind of thing and all of that. Like I'm not a but I would say like they sunned us with like Bernardeschi and
Dusan.
Vlahovic. Like that's just like
Yeah,
you guys won.
Bernardeschi.
You won. You beat us on both of those transfers.
I don't think Bernardeschi is that bad.
I just think he never. I think Bernardeschi's issue is very similar to like Berardi. Like he's like big fish, small pond, and so when he's the big fish in a small pond, he's going to play great. And when it comes time to show up with the big boys, he's got the yips. I mean, a guy that's still, I mean, he talks about like his greatest career ever game being that game against Atletico, where like, you know, Max like made a masterclass, you know, substitutions and stuff like that. And it's just like, dude, you have to be able to like have so many games that you are amazing in that like you can't isolate one. And that was my issue, is that like he never like lived up to the like hype that was surrounding him. I mean, kind of Duchamp's the same thing. I mean, in a lot of ways, I mean, you know, people might crucify me for it, but like, I'm still waiting to see Chiesa really blow it out. You know,
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
no,
I know we all have like, you know, a soft spot for him, but like, what has he really done?
I think it was solid only on the first year, and then the first year in Allegri was pretty bad because he got injured, and then last season he was injured for most of the time.
So let me ask you guys this: what did you guys think of him on Thursday?
I was happy with him. I was happy.
He was solid. I saw some of the highlights before I jumped in the stream. I thought he was solid. Now I don't have the exact opinion, but like for what I saw, he was pretty solid.
He looked like he was in the best shape of
Mhm.
anyone on the squad. Like him and Weah looked like they were in the best shape. I don't feel like this 3-5-2 is the best thing for us. And also if we can play Illing as a midfielder, why can't we play like Huijsen as a left back? Like why are we keep doing this shit where like, oh, we're gonna play a wide player as an inside player, and we can't like deputize somebody else to play a 4-3-3 or a 3-4-3 or something like that.
I think he kind of got. I think Allegri was more so getting away with it because like it was tough for him because he put in Kostic, and then it's like, I want to give Illing minutes.
Didn't play too bad either. I was happy with him. He looks like he's going to be in good shape for the start of the season.
I hope he can just maintain it. And I think, and
we
that was
burnt him out though. He got
way
burnt out last year.
That's what I'm saying, because it's like
he should be good though, since we're not going to play in Europe as far as burnouts. Yeah.
Also, like,
go ahead,
we
Colin.
need to get Cambiaso out of here. Sorry.
Go ahead, Colin.
Colin, I totally cut you off.
Mm-hmm.
That's all good. I cut people off all the time. I'm good with that. That's why we needed European like football, because like now we're gonna have somewhere between like 35 or 40 guys, and we need to get rid of a lot. And
we currently have 44, I think.
There you go. So we needed that because now we have the same amount of mouths to feed with less food. So we've got to figure out like I don't like there's only so many people we can loan as well, right? Because of the new rules. So we have to get on the sales, and we're probably going to have to take a hit with teams knowing the position we're in, which could be, to touch on what Tal said, like it's maybe what they wanted, knowing that without football and without biters on their players, they're going to be even more financially hit. So that the 10 million up front plus the financial burden that the players are going to cause, whether they're going to be undersold or we're going to have to carry their wages. So that's what I'm scared about the whole European thing. Yeah, like you made a joke about the whole $15 million prize. It's that plus the ticket sales, and you know we're gonna be able to play those players. Now we have to figure out. It's almost better if you have fucking injury issues.
Yeah, I can't see Conference League being good for us, just given, you know what I mean, our injury record. Like, dude, guys, like 35 minutes into like some crap Serbian team on their potato field pitch. Like, we're gonna need a squad of 50 players because of how many guys are going to be in J Medical.
Guys like Baranachea, guys like Heisen and stuff like that. I think that's where you work them in, because now where are we going to put these guys?
Honestly, that's probably the only good thing
the next gen,
think about. My bad. Yeah, it was the only good thing I can think about for the Conference League is maybe playing the younger guys in these other lower profile games. But like now that we're not doing that, we have to like sell or loan out the 44 players that we have. It's been a little bit difficult. So I don't think in this transfer market we're gonna get anybody big. I think we're just probably like fixing the crap that's been happening in the past with the Paratici era, and like also trying to clean up and sell some more players. I don't think we're gonna get anybody this season.
No, and our sales aren't going to be like McKinney and stuff like that. It's going to be Chiesa or Fagioli, Moretti. They're going to be future stars. So you pick a hole, we're getting fucked.
Yeah,
That's it. You know, so for me, we really needed that. We really needed that. Now I'm definitely nervous as to who we lose. If we lose McKinney, thank God. We lose Kostic, okay. But I would see guys like Ilingo, Ravella, the Italian core, that would break my heart. Because I thought we were finally starting to point in the right direction with next gen and so on.
Ravella getting injured and getting sent back is just like I can't say this enough. I've been so scared of his injury record this whole time. It's been the Specsavers. Let's go.
What's happening, lads?
I've just been so terrified of Ravella's injury record, and how he's like just made of glass, basically.
But you know the same thing, because here's my thing too, and I kind of touched on it earlier. But like, Dusan's not even healthy, and he's on tour. But like, can we? Why didn't we send him back with Ravella? Like, I mean, right now the only thing you really see Dusan is on Instagram trying to take awkward photos with Cabby.
Maybe they're trying to push him as a star. He's there for promo work.
Yeah,
he's like the
star striker, so he's there. I mean,
look, I'm just saying, as far as marketability, he's not the best. Like, I understand Paul. Like, I understand Pogba, because you had like literally at halftime you had Milan players talking to Pogba, and their kickoff was delayed because everyone was trying to talk to Paul. Like, I understand Pogba is like a global phenomenon. Totally get it. But like, Dusan's like the least marketable guy, like of our superstars. He's like the least marketable out of them all.
Most Americans couldn't tell you where Serbia is from or Fiorentina.
Exactly. Like, I understand Chiesa, because like Chiesa's been spammed all over the internet for his Euro. Like, I understand that. And then I understand Tech as well, just because of his exploits in the international stage. But like, I'm like sitting here and it's like, why do you have a guy that can't even play? Like, what's the point? You're here to evaluate talent on the tour. So like, I understand bringing McKennie. I understand bringing, he's not here, but like if you brought Zakaria, if you were trying to incorporate him into the squad, I understand bringing Moise Keane and Milik, because you're trying to figure out how where those two fit in and whatnot. But like, for example, Dusan's not even healthy and he's not even going to play a single game. Why are you bringing this?
Wait, so is he going to play with the Real Madrid match?
No.
So he's no.
I think, yeah. I think it's more like a statement saying that he's not for sale type of thing. Like, you know, if you come for him, he's not like on our transfer list. Like, if, you know, like we got the players that are transferable, they've stayed back. So it's like, it's more like a statement rather than, you know, usefulness.
Terrible
that makes
statement.
sense.
Terrible statement. He should be walking around with a price tag around his neck. Also, we need a new shirt sponsor. What's good with the Specsavers shirt sponsor?
I've actually had a chat with them about that, you know. But no, we do sponsor some teams, you know, in the UK, but it's not like big teams. It's like, you know, like you get them Sunday League teams. We sponsor a lot of them, but I don't think we got the funds for that one, to be honest, mate.
Can they sponsor?
That you're big in Leicester?
Well, we're big all around England. Like, we've even got stores in Canada, Netherlands. So we are. I think I spoke to my manager, and they said we're opening another 100 stores in Canada. So Canada will see us.
Stores in my city.
Exactly.
Can they sponsor YouTube channel?
Right. You know what? That might be a possibility. To be fair, I'll have a chat with them.
You're like, hey,
Give me a
Specsavers.
voucher. I will go to Canada just to get glasses.
Yeah. Hey, everybody! Welcome to another episode of the Turin Giant, sponsored and brought to you by Specsavers. Get some savers while they're spectacle.
Get some respectable Specsavers spectacles. Yeah, I don't know. We went for an event as a team, because obviously I've only been there for like a month now, so it's like we went for like a team event. We're throwing axes at a wall. So I spoke to like our senior accountant. I said, look, like what's the thing with Specsavers? Like, you guys do sponsorships and stuff. Yeah, we do sponsorships, but it's not like with like massive teams, like, you know, Juventus, massive teams. So I don't think that one would be a possibility. But I did ask about why they're not open stores in America, and they said because of like the laws and stuff. So I don't know. I think you guys got some laws on the way you guys are.
What?
Not
We
you
have
guys. I'm not
laws?
sure who's from
Yeah.
America here, but
Damn
you know,
Yanks.
What?
But it's
We
just
got laws?
no, it's like some employee laws or something like that. That's just a bit doesn't fit our ethics apparently or something like
I was
that.
gonna say, are you
I don't
hiring
know.
child
Looking
labor for
forward to it.
glasses over there?
Yeah, that's
No,
what it
no, it's actually I think it's quite the opposite. I think it's something you guys are doing to be honest, because Canada's all good. So
Listen, if
Sure,
you're good in Canada, it's not. It has nothing to do with labor. You're in two countries that have a more structured insurance situation, whereas
it
insurance.
could be that, yeah.
It's. I'm telling you right now. I know. It's not has nothing to do with employment. It has everything to do with insurance. And the thing is that the way the United States insurance is probably structured, it's harder for you guys to turn a profit.
Yeah, it must be something like that. Yeah. So I had a chat with the manager, and and then they started laughing about it, and I'm like, yeah. I said, but in Canada, you guys are gonna find out about us soon. So just keep an eye out. I'm gonna get a spectator top.
I forgot Dave is in here. He's just in the background pushing.
Just lurking.
Yeah, because
Guys, I got my spectator's pen as well. Look, here you go. I told you guys I'd bring it.
Because I didn't. Because Dave and I were
I
talking.
can even do a
before,
little pen trick for you guys. Oh, I kind of messed that up. I take it back. No, I can't do the pen trick. I take it back. No, Ron. There you go. You see that? It's like it goes around your thumb. I don't know if you guys can do that. Can you guys do that trick? It goes around your thumb. So basically, you go around your thumb.
Absolute mad
Nope,
lad.
can't do it.
Absolutely.
There's no, go and try it. Someone try it. Look, you get it. You go around your thumb. You see that? Let me just try to get little angles for you guys so you guys can see. Okay, look. So here's the thumb, right? So you have to go around the thumb. All right. So okay, that's a mess up, right? Okay. There's a pressure. It's pressure getting to me. There you go. See that? So try to get around your thumb.
Pen trick sponsored by Specsavers.
Yeah. You guys need specs? We got them here. Oh, wrong side. We got them here. Wait. Come on, please focus. Just that. Yeah.
So it's like sounds like erectile dysfunction in the bedroom. Just like, all right, come on, focus, get it up a little bit. Usually works. I'm sorry. Give me a minute.
See that, guys? Is that is it the wrong way around? Oh. Focused? I can't see anything, guys. So you guys have to tell me.
Nope.
Nope, none of us saw it.
So now that I've got you all Specsavered in, we had our Specsavers.
Yeah, you guys really got me there. You know what I mean? Now.
I'm gonna share this to you guys. I'm gonna show you guys the current squad size for Juventus, or the current roster, and you'll be surprised on who's still technically classified on it. So
yeah, Marco Piazza. God damn it.
So right here, looking at this, and is Dave back, or is he?
Did we talk about the victory against Milan, or is that not being spoken about?
We have, but we can touch on it. But I just wanted to bring up a point because we were talking about how.
You mean Carlo Pinsolio's victory against Milan?
Yeah.
Oh yes. Yes.
All right. So looking at goalkeepers, Szczesny, Perin, and the GOAT, GOAT Celio. That's what I'm going to call him because Mad Lad.
The joke that I keep making is that some people are CR7 fans and CR7 is a Pinsolio fan.
Touche. So looking at our defenders, we have about
Kostic is classified as a defender.
Yep. So we
Sule,
have Sule is apparently classified as one as well. So obviously this guy's been benched. So Bonucci benched. Sandro's still on the squad. Danilo. So we have 16 defenders, and that's not even counting Coney de Winter.
16 defenders, and not like half of these guys are not even defenders.
Yeah, and then it gets better. Moving on to the midfield.
Oh no, we got one other defender. What's his name? The new guy that's coming. What's his name?
Gonzalez. Yeah.
Gonzalez. Facundo. Sounds like you're swearing, to be honest.
I was going to say a couple of vowels away, and you're from Fanculo.
Yeah, Facundo. That's what we're going to be saying if he plays badly. Yeah.
So you got Paul Pogba, Dennis Zakaria, Weston McKennie, Fabio Moretti, Barenechea, Fagioli, Locatelli. This guy apparently still here. Rabiot, Nicolucci, Rovella, and Illing. So 12 midfielders as well.
Oh, hi, Hans.
And then, if you look at the forwards, we have Milik, Duzan, Keane, Oliveri, Chiesa. This guy, he just
He's gone.
got cut. Yeah, he just got cut. Fatmob, do better. Ake, Kudrig, and then Dagraka. So holy shit, we
Wait,
have a lot
isn't
of
Ake going on loan again? Didn't he like agree to a loan already? Didn't he get sent out?
I don't know.
Why do I feel like there's more of them?
There is more than that. There is more.
We're not seeing on this list.
There is more. It just hasn't been recorded by Fatmob.
Either way, that list is still pretty big.
Yeah, it's still 30 players, 30 plus, 30 something. Yeah, because 12, 36 plus the 3 goalkeepers, you're at 39. Plus, a couple of next gen guys, you hit 40. We're near 40. And the funny thing is like
none of them are fullbacks.
None of them are fullbacks.
Hey, Cambiaso.
No, Cambiaso is actually categorized as a bum.
Oh, okay.
All right. So we gotta talk about
That
this.
is absolutely ridiculous.
We gotta talk about this because I saw this on X.
Shameful. Disrespecting Sturaro's number.
All right. So, Tall, why do you not like Cambiaso?
I just don't think he's got it. I don't think he's got it. There was a couple times during that game where I think like he got the ball like right off the kickoff and then lost it immediately. Maybe look again. I'll give the kid the benefit of the doubt a little bit, but he did not impress me when he was at Bologna. He did not impress me against. And he didn't impress me against Milan, and I can tell by the way he plays, he has a lot of kind of maturing to do. And given that Allegri is still our coach, I can see him being like absolutely not.
I think I'm gonna give you a letter grade when I watch the match in Orlando. So that's my opinion.
My letter grade for him would have been like a C minus.
Sure.
Yeah, I was gonna go B minus on that, but
You guys go ahead and talk. I'm just moderating. So
yeah,
I think
like he had an opportunity.
He's got maturity. He's got growth. But I don't think sell him outright.
I mean, maybe he could use another year on a loan, but like I'm sick of having guys that maybe can use another year on a loan. Like, can we get some guys that can actually do the damn job?
I think you have to be a little more patient because we're doing this from a grassroots perspective now, right?
Yep. Yeah, we're gonna need a lot of patience.
Like we're used to just trying to like fill the gaps with money, but we can't do that anymore. So
all right, if we're talking like FIFA ratings, right? I think his max potential is like an 84. Okay, I want a guy that can get me into the like 89, 85 to 89 range.
Yeah, but how many of those guys exist?
Potential.
Yeah,
I mean,
especially in the fullbacks. Like
that's my question.
Market,
I just don't think
I
don't think we're going to be successful with Cambiaso. I think he's going to need a lot of.
A great fucking rating.
That's a pretty good rating, though.
Yeah, but like we're talking 84 in like 4 or 5 years from now.
When all of your center backs are like high 80s or low 90s.
Like when the way you were saying it, it was like it seemed like he was going to get like a 75 max. Like that would have been the rating.
I mean, I was being maybe a little generous with them because
okay.
I try to. I want to see the best in all of our players. You know what I mean? But I don't see him being the guy. I don't see him being like a starter for the Italian national team. Let's put it that way.
Fair enough. I think with the whole fullback though, like to get a very solid, prominent fullback, it's going to be very hard. I think the market for a fullback is very, very scarce.
Yeah, but also, did you guys see Dean Huijsen going forward? Like, why can't we play Huijsen as a fullback? Why? Answer. Why can't we play Gatti as a fullback?
Hey man, don't get Frank. Hey, we gotta reel Frankie in with that one.
No, he's an anchor. He needs to stay in the middle. That legitimately is a carbon copy, if not crazier version of Chiellini. That's like sometimes he makes me think of like a Cannavaro type, just bigger.
I want to watch, like, I think I have to like watch a couple more games of Heisen. I've heard about him a lot of times. Everybody's been mentioning him. I just want to see like 3 or 4 games before I get an idea of who this guy is.
He was like unplayable on the U19 level, and they were like, "How is this kid this good? We need to." He's immediately to the next gen. Immediately to the.
I think
and Yildiz were both like immediately to the next.
People have been saying that now they want to put Heisen in this, and like I don't know. Some say starting 11. Some are saying in the.
That's a stretch. That's a reach.
Yeah.
For Copa games, why not?
Yeah, for Copa games. To be honest with you,
Copa games for sure. Yeah.
I don't mind him.
Hope for like conference league games too. But
I don't mind seeing him on
Dash, we're spectators here, man. We're just spectators. We let them talk.
Let them cook.
Let them cook.
By using Specsavers, right?
Yes, safety glasses, Specsavers.
Yo, straight up, I'm actually out of my contact lenses, so I have a Specsaver like literally 15 minutes when I work. I'll go check it out.
You put in a recommendation. You can give my name in, and you know what? I think they might. I take that back. I don't think they'll do anything for you, but still, like, you know, not with my name. Not with my name, they won't. But
you don't get like an employee discount. Like we can't like use your code.
But,
like
you know what the thing is? I do have a family and friends discount, right? But it's like for 2 people, and they give like I think it's like £150. My mom and dad's already claimed that.
If we get, go ahead.
I can post the receipt, and you can take that to your boss and be like, "Yo, look, this channel's already sold you."
You know what? Give me till Monday. I'll have a chat with one of the managers and say, "Are we doing a deal in Canada?" And if we are, I'll send it your way.
You know what? If we get sponsored by Specsavers and they want us to do a promo code, I'm just going to make our first official promo code KF Squad. Type in KF Squad at the purchase of any Specsavers.
Listen, if you guys get a promo right from Specsavers, I think I should join the family. You know what I mean? I would be part of the Two Giants family right there, but that's like an initiation type of thing. Because Specsavers are full of dough, you know, so you know they'll just sponsor me in.
At this point, if you want to be part of the family, just DM Farhad. He'll accept anybody. Yeah, the amount of times where he's like, "Hey, Dave, Dash, this guy DM me. Do we want to use him?" We're like, "We don't know who this person is. What? He's a cool guy." I'm like, "All right, great. Where do you know him from?"
Asking us to join a crypto network. What are you talking about?
And then Dave says, "We'll put a plaque on the wall."
Oh Lord.
You know what? If we were to get sponsored by Specsavers, I'm gonna have a picture of Hamza in his blazer and a Juve jersey, just holding a Specsavers plaque, and then I'll frame it. I'll move this.
Holding up the Specsavers notebook. Come on.
I'll take off my.
I have a Specsavers Juve kit right there. I'll hold one. It says Specsavers at the back.
I'll take off my Ronaldo frame here and just put a big portrait of Hamza.
Oh no, you can't place that one, can you? That one's.
I mean, I could. It's easy. I just gotta unhinge it, and that's it.
Oh, okay.
It's all frames. Yeah, I upgraded my background. See, woohoo! Yay! Apparently that's important. Which I never thought backgrounds were that important. But hey, the more you know.
Oh yeah, it's a good marketing thing, you know. It's just
it would be great. It would be a great marketing thing if I actually got paid, but I don't.
I know. It takes time. This time.
But you know who can fix that? Who can fix that?
Background. Colin is actually.
They can fix that. I'm just saying they can fix that. They can.
But you got that good old Canadian, what is it? Electric range back there, which is not as good as gas.
Yeah, no gas. Gas is super expensive in like where I live, so.
I can imagine. Just cooking with gas is just so much better.
Dude, we're on the cusp of communism up here. It's terrible.
You know what? We're not going to get into it on this stream. I have a lot of opinions about that.
We all do.
I agree.
I don't have Dave in his tinfoil hat. This is the best I can give you.
Conspiracy at this
point.
Yeah, you're right.
Emotional damage.
There we go. That's better.
Well, actually, FC24 comes out in like 4 weeks, and like you said, that's completely crossplay.
Oh yeah, and I think they gave Vialli a hero card, didn't they? So that's going to be.
Yeah, they did. They did,
Uh,
and yeah,
We're
Dave.
talking
Probably,
about the new well, not FIFA, but like the
Yeah.
Guys, we're all gonna call it FIFA. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just gonna be called FIFA 24.
yeah, we're just gonna call it FIFA
Just gonna call
24.
it FIFA 24 and it not be actually licensed by FIFA.
EA knows.
I don't know. They haven't really impressed me. These new FIFA games have been mid at
Yeah,
best.
all
the-
sports games are the
It's
same.
not.
They're
It's
all
like
reskin.
it peaked at like FIFA 14, and then ever since then, it's just been downhill. Like
That was
if
actually
you,
a really good game.
if
I
you,
like 12
Fantastic.
too.
FIFA 10 was also just top tier.
What was it like 2007 to like 14 was just like the best I've seen.
It's a good era.
And they did like there were so many things that you used to be able to do that you can't do anymore. And I remember there was like a leak from a former EA employee that was like, we literally like they need to stop making FIFA games for like 2 years because the code is so old and the way it's like coded, they can't fix it because if they do one thing with the old code, they can't it like the ripple effect messes so many things up.
Do you think maybe they're just complacent and lazy, or
Yeah, they are. It's
It's
EA.
EA.
Dave said the same. I remember Dave had mentioned almost exactly what you just said a few weeks ago. Something about its engine that you can't modify.
Well,
Yeah.
also since they went to Frostbite, it's like completely gone to shit. Like they tried to like incorporate new things, and they can't actually do it without it.
I would have
Well, it
assumed
was
that
this-
Pro Evolution would have taken advantage over this.
They did.
They did, and they flopped.
They went free to play, which makes sense everywhere but like the US basically, and kind of the Western market. But like in terms of like Asia, like nobody-
Eastern Europe on the Pro Evolution market there is insane.
I remember when they were Pro Evo.
Oh,
like,
yeah, Winning 11 was amazing.
Winning 11 was top tier.
Yeah.
Holy.
That was a really good game.
No, I mean like
Sure.
EA is literally, or EA 24 has the same issue that that Call of Duty did, because when Call of Duty came out with Modern Warfare in 2019, it's perfect. Don't touch it. And then Raven Studios like, let's incorporate Cold War into this and fuck up the entire code.
Yeah, no, it's terrible.
It's stupid. I mean, that's the one thing that I've kind of looked at video game developers now. It's just like, how do you make the bare minimum to maximize profits? Like now, like you don't even finish games, and then you sell like the actual completed part is
Well, like
DLC.
what 10 years ago you paid $60 for a game and you spend 100+ hours playing that game. Now the same game for the same price gets released, you get 60% of that game and they release the other 40% to you. They piecemeal it to you over a couple of years with a season pass. It's like, just give me the DLCs, just give me all of that.
Yeah, well, it's capitalism, man. They got to find a way to. They've
The
got
problem
to
is
find a way to milk your money. That's
Well, that and kids now have the attention spans of squirrels, so they don't even know what a good game is if it hit them on the head.
I think that's
But you
generous.
notice the only
Yeah.
companies doing that with the basically patching, like he was saying, are the bigger ones that can afford to give you garbage. The ones that already have established titles.
I think a really good
Battlefield, for instance, the
Yeah.
smaller independent studios are still like putting out bangers.
I think a really good example of how to kind of how to operate is the developer for No Man's Sky. When that game dropped, it was an absolute shit show. And since then, they've had so many free patches that the game is like really, really, really good now. And I mean, I don't even play No Man's Sky. It's just like what I'm hearing from people that do play it, and guys that were like day one players that got all the way to this point. And yeah, like you were saying, Colin, like the best developers nowadays are the smaller, AA developers that can make a AAA game, but they actually just care about the product. I mean, look at the difference between The Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk. Like Cyberpunk was unplayable at launch.
But like, here's the thing: what constitutes a AAA game now? Is it just graphics? Because I think that's what
No,
it is.
I think it has to do with the size, and usually AAA games has to do with it's referenced usually to the developer at this point. Like you're a developer, like all of your games are technically AAA games.
Because it's like, to me, it seems like such a loose title now. Because it's like, Yeah, Halo absolutely ruined it for me. I'm like sitting here, I bought a new console. I'm like, hell yeah, this is going to be a great product, 10-year game. And then a year and a half later, yeah, we're not doing anything to this. Because like Halo Infinite was supposed to be a Halo game where it was 10 years worth of content. And then it's like a year and a half later, and they're like, yeah, we're not making anything else.
I'm waiting for them to start, for EA to start doing what Activision did with turning on the old Modern Warfare servers.
I think Xbox was doing it because I don't know if you guys know this, but the original dev team and programmers that made the OG Modern Warfare 2 from 2009 are releasing a game. It's called like X Volve or something like that. I don't know what it is, but it's a new game that essentially it's that the old team, because what happened was Sledgehammer was trying to get the Modern Warfare 2 people to make Modern Warfare 3 at the time, and they said, yeah, we're done. Modern Warfare 2 is our gem and we're out. And they all left Infinity Ward at the time back then. So from what I heard is those guys have all squatted up and they're trying to make a Call of Duty killer. So Xbox was like, hey, let's turn on all the old Call of Duty servers. But right now it's only for Xbox. It's not for other consoles. So technically you could turn on Black Ops 2 and play online.
That game was amazing.
It was. Zombies was great.
I think it was. I don't know if it was like the game being so good that it was just like the time and the era that it came out in was like, we were all of a certain age and everybody like, there was like such a desire for that kind of ability to play that. But talking about like AAA versus AA games, there's a really good series of games that are out. Called Remnant. From the first one is Remnant from the Ashes, and then there's a Remnant 2 that just came out. And they are very similar to like it's almost like a Soulsborne from software game, but with guns. And it's just very different and very fun. And they're a very small developer, a technically AA developer, but it's competing in large with a lot of the AAA games that are coming out, just in terms of its unique.
So wait, one question, because I'm not really like a computer, pretty much like a developer geek. But what is a AAA? If you don't mind.
It really just has to do with the size. I think it has to do with the size of the studio.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the like scope of the game, right? Like, okay. So a smaller game that would be like a side scroller or something like that could be considered a single A game. A double A game would be something akin to like a great example of a double A game is like Days Gone, that zombie game, and then a triple A game is something like a Bethesda game or like a FIFA or something from Activision or something of that nature. Again, it's kind of really speculative because you could be a AA studio and then make a really big game, and then your next game is considered a AAA game. It doesn't really. It's kind of just how the gaming market just decides. It's kind of arbitrary, really.
Right. No, I think I got it. So, yeah.
Yeah,
right,
none of the companies are putting out any good shooters right now. The best shooter I've played recently is called the Hunt, and it's a super.
You should play Remnant. Remnant, the gunplay is.
I actually just looked it up on Steam right now.
It's so good. Like I was so impressed with the mechanics, and the general gameplay. What's also cool is that all the dungeons are procedurally generated, so you won't play the same map twice. And if like you and I were to play together, it's completely different when you and I are playing together. When you're playing in your own world, the story is kind of strange and very similar to like a From Software game where you kind of have to really look into a lot of the lore yourself. It's really, really tight gunplay, which I really liked.
Yeah, I'll check that out. Maybe I'll download that.
So going back to Cambiasso, Dash, you had some things you wanted to say about it, and I kind of interrupted you, and then we went to games and whatever. So Go
Yeah,
on,
no,
mate.
I
Shoot
think
your shot.
it's more so talking about it because on Twitter that's a mixed reaction. You know, you have some folks that are for him, and you have a bunch of talls that don't like him. No, but you do have it's a lot of mixed reviews, which I thought was interesting. So, like for example, Misak on our Discord was commenting on how much he liked him. So you know, I'm kind of curious to see, and you guys were talking about it a little bit, but more so just kind of it. I mean,
I gotta watch
as
more games.
as a deputy Kostic.
As a deputy Kostic, I don't mind him.
Okay.
I don't think he's a starter quite yet. And I also think that he got largely, the more I think about it, I think he got really largely outshined by Weah. I think Weah really impressed me during that game. And so I think that maybe I was expecting a similar output from Cambiaso when he's not that guy.
He's not that guy.
No. And Weah is so fast. Like, wow. So fast.
I will give Weah. I was watching the highlights about like an hour ago, and I will give him the credit of like handling the way he handled Leao. I will give him that.
I like that he just dragged him down a couple times. Like,
yeah,
not give a fuck.
Yeah, no, he was handling. He was he was handling like Leao pretty well. Like he was very quick. He's very quick. Like he's very fast and quick. I think I'm gonna like him, but I gotta watch more games. Again, it's just those things.
I was super positive on him.
So, how would you guys compare him to a Cuadrado? Not like dead on his legs, Cuadrado, but just Cuadrado overall at Juve.
Like we're talking like prime Cuadrado.
Yes.
I would say they're very similar. I think Cuadrado is probably a little bit techier. You know.
I think Cuadrado is also a little bit more reckless. I don't know.
Cuadrado had a vagina. That guy was falling all over the place forever.
I want to throw this in and see if you guys bite on this as well. I think Timmy's more composed than Cuadrado was.
Yeah,
that's what I mean by reckless, though. Like you would make too many like face bomb decisions.
Because I don't know if you guys were excited from it, but I loved it. He dribbled through the entire squad in the middle of the pitch and then laid it off to Keane for Keane not to shoot it properly. It was frustrating. I kind of wanted Timmy to shoot it, but that run to me, I was like, okay, I'm not calling him Timothy anymore. I am calling him Himothy because the balls on that kid. To be honest with you, Allegri must really like him for in his first game for him to just do whatever the hell he wanted. Because that's kind of what it looked like. Offensively, if there was space, everyone was looking for Timmy. Like the entire time, those first 20, 30 minutes of offense, whenever we had the ball, McKennie, Locatelli, sometimes Miretti, everybody was looking to feed Timmy the ball. Like I think I saw him run the ball forward more than anybody.
I also think that I was very happy with a lot of the off the ball movement, a lot of the ways guys were moving that was different from last season where people looked kind of lost. And just based on a lot of the reports from, there was a bunch of fan club members that went to the open practice that were also at a few practices last season in Torino. And they were saying that the drills they're doing and a lot of the ways that they're practicing is a lot better and a lot more promising. And that's largely due to Maglianelli, the former Sassuolo captain, who's kind of our new signing in the coaching staff this year. And I'm hoping that translates to a lot more dynamic movement and a lot less predictability over the course of the next season, because we were so predictable. It was like either Kostic or Cuadrado's getting the ball, they're going to bomb down the flank, and they're going to cross it. And it's like if you just parked one guy in the middle and told him just stop all these crosses, it was done. And I think that the zonal defense, we need to drop that zonal defense.
Go man.
I think you got to go man. And I think you got to go man, especially because you're gonna get caught out, and we're gonna get made fools of if they really do go to this new offside rule. Zonal marking will be a thing of the past with the new offside rule.
Yeah, it torn apart.
And I think the zonal marking, they scored both of their goals based on us having terrible zonal marking and thinking like, oh, he's got it because he's in his zone. Like, no, pick up man and shut that guy the fuck down.
To touch on what you said about the running down the wings and crossing it every time, that's why I don't think we've seen a successful Dusan, because that's not his forte. We need somebody to bring up the ball to the middle and lead him through.
Yeah.
I think you'll get the best out of him like that.
I also think that, like, you know, Dusan needs to focus on being healthy. That the groin strain is one of the hardest things to heal from fully, and he needs to, like, even just in terms of his own personal career, right? Like, if he wants to get a transfer out, if he wants to go to Premier League, if he wants to go anywhere that's not Juve, like, you have to be healthy. Nobody's going to come by you if you have a groin tear.
Well, that's why I think we need to push Pogba out the door. I think Pogba is going to be a terrible influence in that locker room. I think, I think we need to get Pogba as far away from this team as possible.
So everything that everything that I'm seeing about Pogba seems to point to we're going to give him till January.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
And it feels like we're going to give him till January, and then if he can't get it together by January, like, he's on the first plane to Saudi.
No, but I think with like Pogba, for example, I think his mentality is the right mentality in the sense that he got an offer from Saudi that's like most players wouldn't refuse, and he refused it. So that's something in itself. So it's like that mentality of, you know, I'm in a big club, I want to stay in this big club. I think that's something that, you know, some players can take on.
He also wants to prove himself. Like, he wants to prove himself because of last season. He didn't get to play and he got injured. He made some bad decisions. Obviously, he should have taken the surgery a lot earlier. But
yeah, but I mean, again, you got to let a guy, like, you know, if you have the option to go into surgery or not go into surgery, like.
Yeah, I'm take it from my perspective, guys. I didn't want to do the surgery, and I didn't do the surgery.
I'm okay with that decision. That's his personal right, but everything after that, he's I just don't think he takes the extracurricular part of soccer like to heart. He doesn't have, and I'm not saying everyone has to be like Ronaldo, but I mean he's got to be somewhere closer than what he is now. For what he's making, he needs to prioritize the last 3 or 4 good years of his career. He's not going to be Pirlo. People that size, they don't make, besides Lawton, don't.
Well, you know, he's got the passing range that he could really play like a Pirlo-esque career. I just don't think the way his body is deteriorating on him. And I mean, like, you gotta realize this guy has played the maximum amount of games you can play from like the age of like 18, basically, because he was that guy. Like, you guys remember, like, what when he was with us the first time, how old was he? 21?
Probably in the 20s, 18, 19, somewhere there.
Yeah, so, like, he was playing, he was a starter for France at that point, okay? He was playing every game possible with us. His body got burnt out.
What does he offer us right now that we even need him now?
But if you saw
right now, he's obviously offering us nothing. But you cannot tell me that you do not want a healthy Pogba in your squad.
He was the best midfielder in the league, when he was.
If we're talking in the context of rebuild, I don't see the benefits.
Him being of a healthy Pogba in a squad when you're doing a rebuild?
Yeah, I don't see it. I think we have other leaders in the team to supplement that. We don't need him in there. I think you have guys like Rabiot around since he's already on contract. I think with Rabiot, you don't need the extra type of muscle, and you have other players that can play that position.
I think that, you know, like in every team, every fan wants like youngsters, you know, like to bring up the team to the future and whatever. But I think some experienced players are needed, and I think someone like Pogba is someone that does like appeal to a lot of players, because like he's seen as like, you know, a modern elderly player type of thing, if that makes sense. So it's like I think it'd be like I think it's a good move that if he stays, if he's fit, because like when he was playing last season, even the couple of appearances he had, which wasn't great, but when he was on the field, he was amazing, like one of the best in the league. So it's like I think that this season, if he's fit, we should keep him.
Undeniable.
We're still living on the hypothetical of a healthy Pogba, and that's really what we're betting on.
Yeah, the
this
best
season is the healthy Pogba.
Let's go back 11 years. Conte would not allow him to act the way he does outside of the field. He wouldn't allow it. He put him in his place.
Sure.
That's the type we. Admittedly, his skills are great, but that team in 2012 was built on grit and backbone and unity. I don't think you can attribute any of those words to Pogba.
I think you need the right coach. I still think you need the right coach for that. Like I said like before this season would start, that we need to get rid of Allegri and maybe get a guy like Conte to do the rebuild properly. I'm not saying keep him for a long time, but I am saying for a rebuild purpose.
I think that Allegri is definitely a steady the ship kind of manager, and I think that this is going to be another rough season, probably off the pitch. Also, I see it happening. I see more bullshit coming up. I see them trying to fuck us again, and
I don't think they can they?
I don't think they are.
We didn't think they tried us for things that are not crimes. Of course they can. It's Serie A. Their thing is like Serie A. Fuck Juve. Like,
well, they're not gonna do it like 2 for 2. If they're gonna try to screw us over, maybe they'll try another next 5 years or the next 3 years.
I think so. I honestly though, I think they're done, and Yeli's out of the door. So I think Sheffield can go and take his raging boner somewhere else. But
I don't have any faith.
It's because we're out of Super League. Now out of Super League, I don't think they're threatened anymore. So it's like
Sheffield and the Super League are gone. So
we
it's
are
out
of the Super League.
It needs to happen now.
So let me bring us back to Pogba for a moment, because you guys brought up some really good points. One of which with Conte not allowing Pogba to do some of the extracurricular activities. But I'm gonna kind of quote Danilo in regards to Cuadrado acting a fool in a game. When asked about it, Danilo said he's 34 years old. He's a 34-year-old man. So let me throw this in Pogba's case. Pogba's almost 30 years old. At what point do you think a coach can actually keep him? He's almost. I think he's 29. But at what point do you guys say that at this point it doesn't matter who's the coach? Pogba gonna Pogba?
No. If Chiellini was here, Chiellini would grab him by the jersey and be like, "Listen, this is what's good." I don't care what age you are. We're all at the age to remember Roy Keane. Roy Keane would handle his shit and made sure you were in towing the line, and that. And maybe it's because I'm a boomer, as they would say, but like you need somebody like that to rectify any issues. You need somebody. I don't think you can build a winning team without that player.
Okay.
At least one. It could be a player or a coach.
No, I really feel that you need to have. If you're talking just a coach, it needs to be a coach that's played. So like as a dad, because I don't think Conte will come back. I just don't think he will.
So you don't think gently put him straight, like, because they had a conversation. There was something there.
I think the conversation was more about, we're going to give you a chance until January, and if you can't make it work, then you're out.
But as a player, are you going to respect a pencil pusher? I mean,
if he's paying, makes no sense.
It's hard to say. You know what I mean? I feel like you don't have. I mean, what is it like? Wayne Rooney said it when they first signed Pogba at United. It was like, yeah, we lost, and he comes into practice the day later, and like Pogba and Lingard are like dancing in the locker room.
You don't want that shit, man. That's probably.
I'm not saying you do, but like, who are those players now? Like, who is the guy that's going to grab you by the scruff of your neck in terms of this generation of players and is going to actually say, like, this is unacceptable?
Let me speak for Frankie. I say fucking Gotti can do that.
I don't disagree with you. I completely agree that Gatti could do that. I just also don't think that he's got the like he's got the on the pitch respect after playing. Like, people are gonna be like, "Who the fuck are you?" to Gatti at the end of the day.
We're just
I think
gonna
Locatelli might be the guy, in the future.
I don't think Loca's got it too. I think Loca's.
So this is good that you guys brought up Locatelli. So I'm gonna have it. I'm just gonna bring up a statement about Locatelli, or kind of like a question, something you guys go at it. How long do we need to wait for Locatelli to be consistent? Go.
I think he is.
I don't think he's a number 6. I think he's a number 8, and we need somebody to take over that number 6 role.
Let me ask you a question in response to your question. How long is it going to take Allegri to pick 1 or 2 goddamn formations so he can have some consistency upon which to be consistent?
I will say in 2 years after his contract expires.
Yeah.
That is the smart ass answer. To be honest with you, Colin, it's got to be within the next 4 to 5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I surely hope so.
I at this point, like, to be honest with you, like, I've defended him on cases, but like, for example, this one, like, this is me, like, dude, you have 1 game a week. It is not this hard to mess up. Pick a 3-5-2, it's the 3-5-2. 3-4-3, it's the 3-4-3. Just pick something, stick to it. So if he's able to do that, and the thing is like, obviously right now preseason isn't the best because Fajoli is supposed to play the 6 and Loca's supposed to go to the 8 from what the allegedness I've heard. But I think one of those things is because a lot of people are looking at this, and the reason why I brought this up is a lot of people have been sharing Sassuolo videos of Locatelli and kind of comparing him to now Locatelli. So my thing is kind of like on your guys' thing, what's the verdict? And I know Colin's kind of made the argument with Allegri essentially picking a formation. So let me throw this tidbit in for you guys, and I'll let you guys wrestle for it. But say that the 3-5-2 is the go-ahead formation for this season. We're not changing it. It's going to be what it is. I'm going to throw in this too as well. Fajoli is being the regista, not Loca. It's going to probably be Fajoli. That's going to be the main regista player for this season. I think it's doable because it is 1 game a week, so I don't think it's going to stress Fajoli out too much. But from that, what's your thing on Locatelli, guys?
You play a double pivot and an attacking midfielder. All right. If you're gonna have kind of similar almost to the way Napoli plays, in terms of the fact that they have like Lobotka and Zielinski as kind of like dual distributors in the midfield. Shh, Cody, it's okay. Taking care of our friend's dog, who is a little senile. So he just kind of barks at nothing. I think
it's funny. I'm dog sitting as well, but the dog owner's name is Cody.
What's the dog's name?
Philip.
Philip. Okay.
Well, his name's Billy, but named after the Philadelphia Eagles. Fuck them, so I call him Philip.
I respect that.
I was about to say, I'm like, Tal, you better say you respect that, knowing you.
I don't. I have a problem. I don't have any problem with Philly sports teams. I just have a problem with Philly sports fans. They're the Napoli fans of sports fandom. But back to our midfield. My issue is that we keep playing like a designated regista, and like it's one of those like Max living in the past things. Like our midfield structure needs to be a double pivot and an attacking mid, not a regista, a mezzala, and an attacking mid. Because when you have too much of a dedicated position for people, it's so easy to catch us out. It makes us too predictable. If you know that Locatelli is going to be the distributor every time and you double man mark him in the midfield, no balls are getting out of our midfield.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy. But if you're doing a double pivot of Loca and Fajoli, and the thing is that if you look at, and I did this a couple months ago when, well, maybe it was a month or blah, 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 blah. a little while ago when it was kind of said that Fagioli was going to be the regista. I looked at him at Cremonese and where he was consistently put at Cremonese. And he was always paired up in a double pivot at Cremonese. So I'm not saying that he can't be a distributor, but I also think that he's capable of I think in a double pivot it's much better because then you can have either of them going forward and the other one doing, defensive coverage. I think we're going to struggle a little bit because Fagioli's defensive coverage is not as good as Loca's. And I think what's going to happen is, unfortunately, Loca's going to get comfortable being in the back, and he's going to push Fagioli up, and we're going to get pigeonholed again into that, Metala, Regista, Trek kind of issue, which is what we need to get away from because we need to be playing essentially, like I said, that double pivot with an attacking midfielder.
Alrighty, so good take there. So I'm going to bring up something that our good friend Vlad from Discord, who is here. Again, guys, join the Discord. Discord's a great spot to have some conversations. You got Vlad and Misak that have some very fun and insightful conversations. So barcode's right there. Boom, scan that sucker, and you're good. Vlad coming in. And Vlad, if you can hop in, click the StreamYard link, my guy. The water's fine. So Vlad saying Loca can play the 6. I am probably the biggest Loca fanboy, but he has been underperforming lately. And he follows up by saying Hans Nicolucci absolutely outplayed him against Milan. And then filing in here saying we just need Locatelli in Pjanic's role, Fagioli in the Khedira role, and Rabiot in the Matuidi role.
I really like that take.
Bones kind of throwing some banter here. What? Allegri stuck in the past?
Oh Lord.
Well, anybody? You guys? Anyone else want to take up something about Loca here?
I'm a big fan of Locatelli. Like last season, I was watching him, and I think the reason why he's got a lot of like a lot of you guys are saying, because you guys see the attacking returns that he used to do in Sassuolo, and maybe that was the case. Maybe that's what you guys are after. But defensively, solid. I don't know if I'm missing something. I'm watching something different, but I thought it was solid. And in regards to his distribution, he does these mad crosses sometimes. I'm kind of lost. I'm like, what is he throwing out here and there? And it's getting better, so it's not like it's not. So as a defensive midfielder, I think he's a fantastic player. But I think you guys want him as a bit more attacking, a bit more forward, and maybe that's what you guys want. But I think if Allegri was playing him a bit more defensive, and when I went to the stadium, I saw it. And he was doing slide tackles left, right, and centre. And if you look in this day and age, you don't get many defenders that can slide tackle properly in the rules. Do you know what I mean? That gets away with it without it being a foul. But Locatelli gets away with it quite a bit because he does it right. So maybe I think he's underrated with our fans, and I think his defensive awareness and stuff. I think that's not being taken in consideration that much. But he's solid.
He's a
Any rebuttals? Go ahead.
While I agree with you, I just think the issue is that when he does that, it becomes obvious what he's going to do. And when I think our biggest issue last season was predictability, you know what I mean? And that midfield, you have guys that you don't know who's going to be the one distributing the ball. And you can't, you don't prevent by, let's say, double man marking Loca, the ball never left the midfield. We never were playing forward passes through the midfield. So he had nobody to kind of distribute to quickly because let's say you're expecting Loca to be the distributor, right? And you double man him, ball doesn't get out. And then all of a sudden, boom, he lays off a little pass to Fagioli, and Fagioli sends a ball flying. And we saw lay off some really nice balls last season. And so I think it has less to do with, him not being good as a dedicated 6 and more him only doing that role.
I know what you mean.
And again, that's going to rely on either him or Rabiot.
I'm going to ask you one question. So you say Locatelli with a double pivot with an attacking mid. Who would be the attacking mid?
In my opinion, you play a double pivot of Rabiot and Fajoli, and your attack mids are Rabiot, Loca as your double pivot, and then Fajoli / Miretti as your number 10.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah,
I
think
personally want Fajoli further forward and not further back.
I think
I think he's a little bit of a
heard
defensive
and
liability.
for what I've seen, for what I've heard and what I've seen about Locatelli, I'm just gonna have one more take because I gotta head out and go have dinner with my family. But I'm gonna have like one takeaway. Yeah. Well, my thing is, I think I agree with you on this one. Where I think he needs to be like either a Mezzala or like working a double pivot. I think that's the best. That's the best of Locatelli. Otherwise, I don't think you should be a regista. I don't think it's been effective. But yeah, so I'm gonna head out because I gotta go have some dinner with the family.
Hey, you caught yourself there. You're about to say we got to go have some dinner with the family. Jeff, you dog, you.
Yeah, man. I guess I'm predictable there, But yeah, I gotta head out.
As Florida man does.
Yeah. Florida man's got to do Florida man things. But peace out, guys, and until next time.
We'll see you, Jeff.
Take care, man.
Later.
Alrighty, so Vlad coming in about our Pogba talk earlier, saying response to that, I don't think we need him to be a consistent starter. Badly pay attention to Fajoli this season. He will turn a lot of people's heads this season. Anybody? One of you guys want to take to that?
I 100% agree. I 100%.
I think, yeah.
I think you can't deny that, like, sorry, Hamza, but you can't deny, like, a fully fit Pogba is not a player you don't want playing. You know what I mean? But again, are we going to get a fully fit Pogba? Probably not. And so I think giving him till January works, but play Fajoli in that going forward role.
Just go for it, yeah, man.
Just go for it. Like, what are we afraid of? Like, genuinely, there's like nothing stopping us, really.
Alrighty, so the last player I want to talk about, and I think we'll cut the stream after we talk about him. Oh, go ahead, Hamza. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I had my take on it, so I just thought I'd say something, but if you don't mind.
Go for it.
Basically, so I think we should all be excited for like next season because if you think about it, right, before we had Cuadrado, right? Okay, the interplay, we don't like him. I don't like him either. Okay, I do like him though, but whatever. We'll leave that aside. Whatever he's done, he's done. But it's like no one would pass him on the right because we know how like childish he is. Like if you'd see in a game, they'd try not to pass him. Like if you see like our right side's always free. Like Cuadrado's like calling like, pass me the ball, pass me the ball. No one would pass him, and he is free. But I think that's going to change when Weah's coming. If you see like the way we would be playing, if you see the stats, we were playing more on the left last season, like Kostic, Chiesa, that side, left side. The right side wasn't being used, but now we've got someone on the right. It's like now we can go right or left. So I think next season is going to be really exciting. So I think with our midfielders, they didn't have much to do on the right because we didn't have someone to do something on the right, if that makes sense. So we were predictable because everyone went to the left. Is that you think so? Because I think everyone was going on the left.
It's also going to prevent Kostic from getting completely burnt out.
Because we've got someone on the right now. Because no one would pass Cuadrado because he's pretty like let's not. He likes being a bit solo, you know what I mean? But that's why I think it's going to be a different season this season because we can pass on the right or we can pass on the left, and that makes a big difference. And obviously Vlahovic will have more support because in Weah's eyes, he's not thinking just goals. Like if you saw in his press conference when he joined, he's like, he didn't say I'm here to score goals. He said assists as well. So, I think there's something there.
That's fair. It's a good take. Anybody got a rebuttal to it? Are you guys good?
I think adding to that, a lot of those outside the box shots that Fajoli was nearly successful with are right in that low cross range that Weah gets into. If you watch a lot of Weah's like highlights, he's not just a good aerial crosser, but he's very good at crossing on the ground. And somebody being able to be at the top of the box in that little circle, I always call it the nipple. the little half circle at the top of the box there. But that getting balls in there on the ground, moving at pace, I think is like perfect for Fajoli to get these curlers into the corner.
Dusan.
Who? You need to be able to shoot with both feet to do that. And I'm sorry, but balls coming from the right don't normally come onto your left foot.
They come though.
I mean,
In
they'll
more
be
ways than
there
one.
if he's fit and even play.
Not wrong. I mean, usually the keys will be there, clean it up. But so the last player I want to talk about, because there was some news or some movement due to certain situations, it looks like McKenny has been given a lifeline into the roster. So I want to talk to you guys about Big Mac. So what do you guys think? You think you give Big Mac a shot and give him a shot at being a rotational player? Because obviously I think we can all agree the dude's not a starter. But as far as McKenny, I think he's a change in pace rotational guy. Do I think he's, a main franchise guy? I think he's a wild card you throw in to thump a header in from a corner.
I think he's a garbage time kind of player.
Okay. Wild card.
But I don't know. I feel like he's another guy that you give a chance until January and then maybe try to move him on.
Just makes our wage bill.
Yeah, he doesn't do it for me. I was kind of upset almost when they said they were giving him another chance, and it almost feels like they're giving him another chance just because we're doing a U.S. tour, and it's like more Americans on the pitch. Like, oh, actually, the Americans back in the squad, and everyone's like, yeah,
it's kind of funny because
America.
McKenny's been at all the jersey signings in L.A., so that's actually kind of funny that you bring that up. But
marketing is always an aspect.
Damn, I was kind of hoping we had more of a longer conversation on McKenny, but everyone's just like, nope.
No, I was a big fan of McKenny when he first joined, but then I don't like him now as well. Like I don't like him. He's a nice guy. Everyone likes him in the locker room, but he's just not it. You know what I mean? Like he's just not. No,
I watched him at Leeds as well, and in the biggest games, non-existent. And if he took it seriously at his age, again, he shouldn't be entering camp not on fitness. Camp isn't to build fitness. Camp is to build chemistry. So that's how I feel about that.
Jeez, poor McKenny. So let me add this last player then. So because I went quicker than I thought it would. Moise Kean. Thoughts on Moise Kean against Milan?
Big fan.
Yeah.
No, I didn't watch the game against Milan, so I can't say that. But like from last season, big fan.
Okay, he had a few misses, but I'm a huge fan. I'd say we keep him. I actually am a big fan of Milik as well, but I don't understand why we signed him with Keane, except for the whole 3-5-2.
Let Dusan go. Bet on Keane. Have him work on his first touch in training, and that's it. He's got a little bit of he's built like a brick shithouse. The problem is that his feet are also bricks. So, if he can get a little bit silkier, like if he had Pogba's touch, he'd be 25 goals a season.
I don't even think it's his touch. I think it's his finishing. Like he really needs to work on that. Like
it's interesting that you mention it because Keane has two his finishing is interesting. He scores the cheesiest goals I have ever seen in my life. Like his finishing is cheese, but then it's like basic finishing is just non-existent for Moise Kean. Because like for example, if you guys seen the goal against Spezia, we have it on our channel as a short. Like he shanks it badly, but it just like rotationally just rolls into the bottom corner.
Which is really strange because if you see a lot of his highlights from when he was in the youth sector, he was absolutely fucking clinical.
Yeah.
I think in training as well, he's top quality, In training, apparently he's the man.
Yeah, Dusan calls him daddy.
Oh.
I'm saying he muscles him.
Granddaddy.
He muscles him.
I mean, you see, he broke Tomori.
I know.
He broke him. And I'm sitting there with my cousin, and I'm like, watch, dude, Keens, watch this kid.
That's why I don't understand why you want Lukaku. Like, even let's say that there's actual meat to this instead of it just being something to troll Inter with. Where it's like, why would you want Lukaku where Keane is just as strong, if not stronger than Lukaku?
Keane has Lukaku has if we're comparing objectively, if I'm speaking from my heart, Lukaku a long walk off a short pier. But if we're speaking objectively, Lukaku just has a better first touch. So he can trap the ball a lot easier. Whereas passing a ball to Keane is sometimes like kicking it into a wall. Like it just bounces right off sometimes.
No, I hate Lukaku. No, please don't. Please, God, I am praying that we just don't get Lukaku. Like,
So,
honestly.
LJJ is on the Keane train. I think Keane will improve. Vlad says, I want Keane and Chiesa to develop more chemistry. They look very dynamic together. Vlad, let me ask you this. How do you feel about Chiesa and Dusan? And I'll let you guys answer that question after I go through these comments. Bone saying, I think he needs more time on the field to get his confidence up. Just give him enough time. Let him cook. So let me ask you guys this. So Vlad opens up the discussion here saying that Keane and Chiesa look very, very dynamic. Do you guys see that as well? And then my other question is what do you guys feel about the difference between Keane and Chiesa versus Chiesa and Dusan?
I think Keane is willing to sacrifice more and suffer more and play more for the team. Whereas with Dusan, you're playing for Dusan. And I think that's the issue with him. Like, you can't just play for one guy. We've never been good, and except for Ronaldo, but that's Ronaldo, right? Like, we've never been good when we just play for one guy. I mean, if you look at the seasons that we had, Tevez, again, our best strikers are not getting, are not winning Capo Caranieri. You know what I mean? Like, we've always had, we'll have a guy that scores 25 goals. And then,
in all competitions.
And then the second guy under him is scoring 15, and then another guy's getting 15, and then someone's getting 11, and then someone's getting like 8. Like, we are at our best when you don't know where the goals are coming from, in my opinion. And so with Dusan, it's like, he's so easy to shut down. This is Serie A. This isn't EPL where like you can pass to the same guy over and over again and it's going to keep working. Like, you in Serie A, if you are a one-trick pony, they will get you every time. That's what happened. Everyone watched his game tapes from Fiorentina and said, you're going to be at Juve now. All we need to do is double man mark you in the box and you're done. And he doesn't have the pace to shake off defenders. He's not a turnaround guy. And since he's got that pulbeja, whatever it is, like he's too static. Whereas Keane and Chiesa are like all over the place. You never know where one of them is going to come and get the ball, pick it up, lay it off, whatever they're going to do. It's just so much more dynamic, whereas it's so much more static with Dusan there. It's almost like you're playing down a man in front.
Colin, Hamza, anything?
I think it's mentality. I think with Vlahovic, I think he's got that problem in the head. Like, not like he's got psycho problems, but it's like, if you see it, he shut down his Instagram for a little while because psychologically he was losing it. And then now he's also like blocked comments or something, and that's minor stuff, but it's still like in his head you can see he's like kind of talking to himself as well. He's moving a bit mad, I'll be honest. I think for a player who is quite young, I think his price tag really got to his head as well. And I think pundits are saying and all of that, like, that he's not getting the supply. I think that got to his head as well. Because, when Dybala was there, he was doing stuff. His first season, he was doing stuff. We didn't have any complaints. But then, again, someone needs to tell him, like, stop chipping the ball. Like, allow it. We get you can chip someone. Take another shot, like different. I think first touch also needs working on. I think if you combine because I think he's got decent finishing if he actually tries. But I think if you combine Keane and Vlahovic together, both of their skills, you'd make the perfect striker. But I think both of them lack each other's things, if that makes sense. But so with Vlahovic, I think if he sorts his head out, he'll become a top player. But if he doesn't sort his head out, you need to get rid of him. That's I think that's
You're like, if he sorts his shit out, he's going to be amazing. If he's not, he's Piontek. He's going to Hertha Berlin in 2 years. Colin, go ahead.
I think like the way we play has to change for him to become viable. But in a perfect world, obviously we'd have all three working together somehow. But in our current state, I hate to say it, but Tall's probably closest to on the ball, and just it's better to sell him and spend the money in actual areas that are hurting.
Jonathan David.
Run with Keane and Chiesa. And but obviously we have a certain amount we have to sell him for the books. But outside of that, I think it doesn't harm us to move on from him, and it doesn't make us look like a selling club. It's just like we're moving forward. We have to pick a direction.
I don't think selling Dusan makes Juve look like a selling club. I mean, if you're saying, hey, the guy doesn't fit the system, he doesn't fit what we're trying to do, adios. Because, like, I've seen a bunch of pundits, or not pundits, but I see a bunch of people on Twitter like, oh my gosh, the standard of Juventus has gone down. They're selling Dusan. And it's like, dude, come on, man. Like, how many times have teams sold players because the player doesn't fit their system or what they need?
I think, yeah, I think they think that. I think the way we used to work before was like we wouldn't always buy the star players and we'd like make them the star players. But I think now since we started buying the star player, that's when the problem started. If that makes sense, don't know if you get that, but
so
I think like
interesting because you got a comment that kind of says that, but I'll get to that in a second. So Vlad kind of responding back to us kindly saying, they've got that Fiorentina chemistry. I can't say chemistry for some reason, but they don't complement each other that well until Dusan improves his hold-up play. But one pro is that one is right-footed and the other is left-footed. Case is like a double-footed though. And then Yusuf coming in saying Dusan acts like he is CR7 without the output, throwing his hands up in the air and sulking. Kind of what you said there, Hamza.
Yusuf with the best profile picture. FF10. That was a good one. I still play that game. Yeah, Dusan needs to humble himself a little bit. Also, let's be honest, Keane gets, I would say, 100,000 times more hate than Dusan does, and doesn't.
He wears it on his chin.
Yeah, he does not care.
Keane wears it. Like, that's the one thing I got to give Keane props, man. The dude gets harassed like hell. Like, sometimes I feel like Keane just gets yoinked or just absolutely dunked on just because he woke up the next day, and the kid just takes it. Like,
treatment.
Go ahead.
He's getting the Giovinco treatment.
Yeah. Because it's like, it's one of those things where I just feel so bad for Moise Keane. Because, like, I remember at the beginning of last season, everyone's just dunking on the poor guy. And then he literally said, he's like, I just got to work harder. That's it. Like, there isn't like I don't get the ball, I don't get this, or blah, blah, blah.
I appreciate that he takes responsibility and ownership and says, you know what? The reason I'm not playing well is my fault. It's not that I'm not getting the service. It's not that I'm not doing this. I'm not good enough. And if Dusan did that, he would be a top striker. But he doesn't do that.
And then Vlad coming back saying, we are talking about selling Dusan. He is not healthy. Some fans want to sell Pogba right now. He is not healthy. How do we sell injured players? LOL.
Saudi
will buy Pogba no matter what.
Saudi, if we keep Pogba for the next 3 years, that offer from Saudi is going to stay. Like, we're talking about a World Cup winner, international recognizability, and he's Muslim. Like that, Saudi's drooling over that.
Yeah, that is fair. Very big facts, all day here.
But if he has a good season, then we can get like 60 mil out of him. To be fair, from Saudi, I'm just saying.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, but if he has a good season, we get the 60 million, but we're also slowing the progress down of several other midfielders.
I knocked on the oh, great. Triggering all the dogs.
And then Vlad says, can they pass medicals? That's a good question. I have no clue.
Oh, definitely not right now.
Dusan, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Again, that's one of my arguments that I made earlier where I said they should have sent him back to Italy. Because it's like, he's in LA. LA, if you're not mature, you can get yourself in some shit. Like I said, California is the shithole of the United States.
One of them. New York
So-
is turning into a close second.
I don't understand why Juventus went to Cali. It makes no sense to me because, there's not really much of an Italian population in Cali.
Do you guys go into the games or?
No, I'm halfway.
There's a
I'm
couple.
other
There was a
side.
couple Empire State members.
Yeah, I
were
saw
at some
that.
of those games.
They put some
there's,
on the Juventus official Instagram page. There's a
there was
big Empire State scarf.
there was a couple of the rest of like the North American clubs, some of the Canadians that are on the West Coast. There's a good amount of clubs out in Cali. There's Hollywood, there's LA, there's SoCal, there's San Diego. So it's not like there's not the demand for it. I'm just surprised that they didn't come to the East Coast primarily.
Well, I mean, like you
Maybe
go
there's
to
just based on market.
Works for
Yeah.
me because I had way too much stuff to do this summer and not enough money to even make it out to any games. So,
oh yeah, they would have charged you inflated ticket prices for that. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, we would have gotten the like base price through Juve as an official fan club, but it's still
pretty expensive.
it's still pretty expensive, and it's not a cost that like I was able to really incur this year. So
I'm just
glad.
saying, $150 for a friendly is outrageous.
And I mean, there's a reason that you're not going to sell out those games.
It was funny because what is it? Ali from BZ was like, "Why is the stadium so empty?" I'm like, "Bro, it's a friendly. Who cares?"
I mean, it was the least friendly. I mean, we have to say that again. They also, I don't know if you guys saw the Barca. I forget who Barca was playing the last.
Arsenal.
Barca Arsenal. Yo, that game was intense. I watched a little bit of it. I think a little bit of the second half, and they were just like going stubbed up on each other. They did not care.
Vlad is saying, by the way, guys, where's Mr. Dave? Did he overdose on ketchup? He did not overdose on ketchup. Dave is in the back of house. He is nursing a cold, and his voice is pretty much gone. So Dave's like, here, I can show you Dave. There's Dave. He's doing production stuff. But Dave, we could start a rumor saying that Dave unfortunately OD'd on ketchup and lost his voice. It's the acidity of ketchup.
I feel like his ketchup tolerance is so low, like half a packet will get him to OD.
Yeah, somebody put ketchup in his fries or his hamburger or his chips or whatever, and then it just kind of rocked his
McDonald's ketchup.
Yeah,
I love McDonald's ketchup. Oh, lovely.
He didn't wear Specsaver glasses and unfortunately confused tomato paste for ketchup.
Yeah, exactly.
Gompachiro says, spark the blunt, please. Barsenal. But I think we've hit everything on the head tonight, guys. Is there anything you guys want to bring up?
No, I'm content with that. I've got 3 dogs that want me to get them outside.
Yeah, I gotta get. I'm hungry. I'm gonna go eat some dinner.
Well, it's 12:47 in the UK. My bedtime is 12 and 47 minutes late. Obviously I don't have bedtime. I'm 23. Don't get me wrong, and I know I look quite young.
No, you gotta wake up early for Specsavers.
But yeah, no, I might go London today. Now it's today. It was supposed to be tomorrow, but since this podcast, it's today. So
Listen, it's tomorrow when I wake up in the morning. I don't care what.
Touche.
What if you don't wake up? Like if you don't go to sleep? No.
Don't wake up. What if you don't go to sleep? Some games, I hope I don't wake up the next day.
Oh yeah. No, when we lost 15 points, it was one of them days for me. To be fair, yeah. Tough times.
Alrighty then. I guess it's time for me to do the music and the outro. Because usually Dave hits the button. Watch Dave hit the button as I click it, and it click it. Yeah, it messes up for
Dave, hit the button.
Oh, damn it, he did it.
All right. Audio from, what is it? The audio from Rush Hour. Hit the goddamn button.
Hit the goddamn button. All right, thanks for turning down the volume, Dave. All right, everybody, that's our thoughts, not yours. Again, if you guys want to join in some of the fun, if you're watching this on replay, again, always jump in, 5 o'clock Eastern on Saturday. You can come in, talk to us, and say how much I suck at takes, which is perfectly fine because I'll just laugh about it. Big shout-outs to Colin Tall and Hamza and Jeff, who is with his family, allegedly. But anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. Dave's voice will get better from no longer sucking on ketchup. And guys, be sure to check out Juve versus Real Madrid in Orlando this coming week. And then we'll talk to you again on Saturday. So we'll see you on the next one, everyone. Adios.